Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Trusting that everybody is doing well and everybody is doing all right. Thanks for tuning in. It's another weekend. It's the final night of the weekend's triple treat, and we'll definitely be talking about reggae boys can learn valuable lessons from Morocco's history-making semi-final. And of course, we'll be doing previews, and talking some football. Welcome one and all. Please remember to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and become a part of the Coach's Desk family. Big up to the persons on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in as well. So people, how has your day been? Yeah, my day was great. It has been great, and it remains great. Yeah, so I'm here to discuss this sporting topic. Please remember that this video is brought to you by Denver and the Mango Tree. This book, it was written by Jodianne Francis, a Jamaican. She's a teacher, and she decided to pen this book. The illustrator for this book is also a Jamaican, Wayne Carnegie, and I believe that this book is a good one to have for the children this coming holiday. It can be for your grandchildren. It can be for your neighbor, your very own children, your godchildren. You know what I mean? So it is a good book to have. Yeah, man. So go out and support Denver and the Mango Tree. So let me go by again, and you can watch it from the first instance. We will be right back. All right, so welcome back. I see some persons chiming in, some persons coming into the comment section. So like I said, please go out and support this book. You can find it on Amazon, and it caters to the ages 5 to 9 years. So check it out, people. Good Christmas or Christmas gift to have. You know what I mean? All right. So let me see the persons that are Balakar. Big up yourself. Balakar said me nothing tonight are my reasoning, coach. Yeah, man, are your reasoning, Balakar? Are your reasoning? Why is not your reasoning, Balakar? In Balakar, big up yourself, same way, man. Big up yourself, same way. All right, so Blake is in the building. Blake said, for example, how to defend Jamaica. Take notes. Hey, Blake, not easy, you know. Big up my American bridge, you know. Dr. Dan, welcome to the show. Big up yourself. Toughy Rudy, ready to help support France now that your team is on vacation. Nah, man, me nah. Hey, Toughy Rudy, nah switch, man. Nah, man, me just watch some football, man. Some good football. Top 4 teams that remain in this competition. Just gonna give my views and analysis of the game. No switching. Me not supporting a team. Rob Smith, big up yourself. You want Jamaica to learn how to make goats cry and send them to it. Hey Blake, you never cease to amaze, eh? You always have some nice little lines line up for the show. Big up yourself, Blake. Is this intermission or something wrong with my audio? You're not hearing Rob Smith? Unseen, big up yourself. Marcia the entertainer, good night. My first time. Welcome, Marcia. It's good to have you on the show. Really appreciate it. Actually, big up yourself. Welcome. You know, with this conversation, I am not even going to hesitate to drop the link in this one. Balakar, call in and tell us why this is not your conversation. Because I think it is everybody's business. Once you are a supporter of Jamaica's football, just this is your business. You understand? It is your business. So Balakar, phone line is open, up and running. I'm gonna drop the link as well. So yeah, man, you can come on and let us have a discussion, man. Don't shy away from the conversation. Right? I am not easy, unlike the Jamaican defense. Easy to break like Brazil fans' heart. But a man full of chat like WhatsApp, man. Jesus, please. I honestly don't enjoy this topic because people are intentionally surface level on this topic to push their agenda. Balakar, welcome to the show.
I pray now.
Good day here, man.
Read the topic. I'm not too like how the topic sound, you know.
What do you mean you don't like how it
side,
sound? Why you don't like how it sound?
Well, Jamaica, because when you say Jamaica can learn from Morocco or whatever. What we can learn from Morocco. One thing alone we can learn from Morocco, you know, me not go be first man to say it, you know. I understand and this go sideways, you know. Any man me here company show and talk it, or come back and call in and talk different.
Talk what? Talk what?
So coach, we are reason now, what can Jamaica learn from Morocco?
No, me ask the question, you know.
May I ask you back a question?
Many things we can learn from Morocco. There are a lot of things that we can learn from Morocco.
You know,
I have a few things, but me no want to delve into them just yet. I want to hear what you're saying.
No, well, for me topic, for what I'm going to say, we think we need somebody to come on the show and talk first. We know this other side here tonight.
But we know for shy. You know, we know for shy away from the topic though, Balakar, because
no, man,
it is what it is, you know.
Me know general, but you me just say, me not be first mother to take. You understand? You see, tonight, you're good to see cataract show up tonight because you're good to like the topic here. You understand? I don't know where the topic I go tonight. Was let me say, good today and bad today. Because you have a homegrown coach,
Mm-hmm.
they coach them, you understand me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one good point. We Jamaican now go on no yard coach we are there.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? If I know Miguel Coley, probably Ricardo Fuller, like them they play out there will have them serious budgies. You understand what I say?
Mm-hmm.
Because no other coach where they bought the place me not think of no certificate right now become coach no Jamaican team. At least none of them money are in a local space so not
Mm-hmm.
deserve a chance the coach none of you set up them come right up because if something like that go happen, bias don't go on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The team program don't go on now. And when we hear go on, remember so the coach Glenmore, him used to coach JC and him they say the coach Glenmore and
Mm-hmm.
him they run J coaching team. They know a couple of teams that don't play under 17. Whether
Mm-hmm.
them good or not. So
And
it's politics. Yeah.
talking about the under 17, me hear say some invitees. Um, hold on, let me try to find the info. Um, 7 Phoenix players have been included in that under 17 squad.
There's all some people say that,
Mm-hmm.
oh, like the training camp.
Mm-hmm. So people have said
Oh, but
since Dennis Strong used to be a part of Phoenix, and now you have 7 Phoenix players. That is conflict of interest again.
coach, several Phoenix players they get invited to the instantly under 17. I know Mona didn't come from. Yeah. You see how people, you see how conflicts of interest and
Mm-hmm.
people have run with the wrong narrative.
Mm-hmm.
The youth from the youth from Wilmers, the star baller, the 14-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
probably immunized it now. So people just they run with the narrative the wrong way. When they hear Phoenix, then probably think some Mona them a come from. Them members are probably JC, Georges, Wilmers boys, um, Calabar, and probably one of them school there. You see, coach, the youth them playing at the Manning Cup and then get called up on people. Probably say, boy, 7 Phoenix here night, that no look good.
Mm-hmm.
But a different school in there, I know more than in there. So, you see, so people are, we run with the narrative, some people run with it the wrong way sometimes. And if 7 of them be the coach, and one of them good enough to make the team, and one
Mm-hmm.
of them good enough to make the team. And if none of them not good enough to make the team, none of them just not good enough to make the team. Just as that, everybody get their fair chance. So we know want probably the people them go say, um, 7 Phoenix play night and a moon of them a come from a different school and play for an island.
Mm-hmm.
And I performance so probably them go on with them get a call up team. Because them don't have no more other age group players. Cause me I know say JC now go have a lot of them in it because most of the ball of them will play for JC probably. You know, say I'm not Jamaican them and for them squad probably all you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that we have to look from.
Okay. So
But coach if then
go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
No man, you finish your point.
No, so me I say any baller that get called up to go at the national under 17 camp, if they're not good enough, you send them at the yard.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we say we need one assistant coach from the team Reggae boys coaching staff in a them program to fit the team fairly. You understand, coach, with
Mm-hmm.
no bias. Because as when I say, the Glenmore coach, if the Glenmore coach they run
The coaching
the
school.
Jeff, yeah, and him deep in a JFF, and a couple of field players them go out there, and a yard coach or coaching. Him and the yard coach are good a friend, and field player have it in it. Even two of them, I forget when me as a coach, you see me?
Mm.
So we
So
need to get this.
Balakar, so the whole football landscape is filled with biases then.
So come like hear me as we need to get some people involved in a no club and who not involved with no school and them thing there. I have other young men out there we can do it no coach, but them probably just don't want to do that. We not look on the football all around it. It not look good. You understand me?
So
And
how could
as
we
we
solve this problem?
if you go get the young mind them man. Young mind them in a sports video no coach not involved with no club, but guess what no?
But
Them no want to do that.
they want affiliated persons.
Them want affiliated person.
Mm.
That, that not right, coach. Cause you know, yes, nobody from Manchester United or Liverpool. They work up England FA. You understand what I say?
Mm-hmm.
That not look good, man. Probably the only close they can get with that is a player we used to play football, probably go coach the national team, and probably used to play for Liverpool. That's the closest you can get to. You understand me? Like Garrett Southgate. Some must have used to play football. You understand me?
Mm.
So, so I closest that England can get probably as a coach. Otherwise than that, nobody is now going to do that, man.
Alright.
We have to know what we are doing.
So
But we
that
need to watch.
we need to do what?
We need to watch this under 17 program thing because we feel so we should get ready long time if a February tournament to come up. We can ready. We can just go look for trials
Yeah,
and a
yeah. It
February
kinda that
tournament
kinda
like that.
shake it. That kinda shake it.
Again, coach, they mess up in the under 20 and then come back on the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing.
And that
That
is
means
something.
I see them all things.
Yeah, that mole they need to sort out. That mole need to sort out. That mole really
I
need to
see
sort out.
them all thing, man. With no changes of the day. The only changes is them a come and do some interview and then talk pretty. And when the phone hang up, then go back to same old.
Mm.
The under 17 you them sure in a camp from 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 around
September
early
there about.
September, October.
Mm-hmm.
If them a play Doncaster Cup, Manning Cup, coach, if you can find one 3 day where the youth them can come a camp and then break back to their school. This now go work, man. A December we in a January. So you tell me say I probably last 2 weeks serious training go on for the youth them. If a trials they go on now, then I should have some selective player where they go work with, man. If for instance you have say you have players from England to come in because Bibi Gardner's son.
Mm-hmm.
Bibi Gardner's son play under 17 too.
Me not sure, you know.
Yeah man, Bibi Gardner's son that young man.
Should.
Yeah man, me hearing do an interview man and him say boy, if him son not ready to play it yet, he now go force him to come down and you understand?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody did it better than him, They need to pick the better person, the bias thing. Now, you see me, so me rate him for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, how much player for England they come down because we need to get this.
For
We
the
need to
under
get
for
this
the
thing
under
right.
17, me not sure about that part there, no, to be honest.
We need
But
we
one
need to get.
little team supposed to leak out there, no. I
We need
think one league squad out there. When I get a hold of it yet, but we know say some info out the road there.
coach if we can get some youths from all over the world where eligible to play for Jamaica from 8-17 they come up in the system. If he say he can get better, you see me? So we can't just use players from schoolboy football alone in the under 17. If players that England want to represent for Jamaica, we need to use them too.
Dr. Dan, the thing about it, you know, you see, if you use this month that you have using to the trials should have do already and you sift through. And then you start your preparation. Now is when? Now is December, almost mid-December, and you're just doing a trial for a competition in February. So
the squad should have picked already, coach.
So they should be in preparation mode, not trial and selection mode. That's what I believe.
So if it's a 26-man squad to go at the World Cup qualify, we carry 30 man on camp. You understand? And the 30 man then work from that. The formation where then go play and go through then drills and them thing.
Mm-hmm.
They wait till January to do all of that working for formation and the youth them go to be a foolish for the field. So who are the under 17 coach?
Not sure yet. Oh, I think it's Coach Garden, you know.
Maran Gardo.
Mm-hmm.
Same old thing they know. Oh boy.
So I think his Maran Garden is the 17. The 20 is the assistant to Algrimson, and then Algrimson the senior man. So they're trying to utilize the national, the senior coaches to preserve those youth teams so that they can have a similar type of ideology, philosophy going throughout the ranks.
With schoolboy football, Marangard coach at Manchester, right? No, the defending the champion from last year. What the school name again? Garvey Masia.
I think they won the under 16 competition, and if my memory serve me well.
This year?
Mm-hmm.
So you know, a couple of him players them go back up there. So you see how he run, coach?
Mm-hmm.
If me, the coach William Nib, and my school go a final in the under 16.
Inevitably, Balakar, some of those youths will be selected. Once they make final or semi-final, some of them youth there. So even if it wasn't Maran Gardens team that won, they would have still, once they reach final, you get selection.
No, coach, you can't say that.
But what you mean we can't say that, Balakar? That go without saying, man.
All right, you come off the wrong way.
Look when, hold on, Balakar. Right. Look when them have all Manning and all the Costa Cup. And the team them will go deep into the competition most times, you know, you have players from those teams, you know.
And that's bias. And if you say bias.
Why bias?
Because, all right, you have the leading goal, say for instance, you have the leading goal scorer in the Costa Cup and the Manning Cup. And for them team drop out in the round of 16 early out. And the youth are do good. You tell me say the youth not deserve a call to get called up. And that's why Jamaica football go down in a coach. Remember, you know?
But Balakar, hold on, Balakar. Make a reason out to something, man, and stop go down the road there. If the team go to quarterfinal, semi-final, and final. Don't you believe that the players and remember saying all of the players them from one team are gonna get selected in a virgin? So players who would have played in previous rounds would have probably caught the eyes of persons.
All right.
So you can't say
We go
that
pick
ball
a
of car.
all. We go pick a all. Say for instance, we go pick a all. Doncaster Cup team, right? We now go use the two finalists them. I probably just on the Central. You probably don't even have two players from Central in a that team. If you get what me I say.
So that's why I tell us that the bias is not real as you propose. So a man go a final and
Yeah,
everybody from team are gonna get selected. So you have people from the other
no.
teams throughout the competition.
But all right. Me just a set here now, coach.
Mm-hmm.
Say for instance, Maran Gardo under 16 striker. Him one of the leading goal scorer and none at all for him team, you know. But him came got the national team, under 17 team. You know, if he say go work with him and drop him because of field play and he know what he can do. And a better player they out there. Remember say when at the under 20 squad team you know coach. So if Moran Guard the coach the under 17 team, me no feel say him be affiliated with no schoolboy football team. Now if I get what me I try to say.
Yeah, I may understand that because that comes with a level of bias, as some people would say.
Yeah. If you say if you have an under 17 coach, a under 16 coach, a under 23 coach, an under 20 coach, and a senior coach. Then if you're affiliated with no football club or you go coach. You understand what I say? A Jamaica alone and things happen. Because in a US, if you have the under 17 coach, and I hear say boy, you know, say the under 17 coach, the coach Toronto FC. If you more coach Toronto FC and go good on in the under 17 and see four player down there and say, my player have to work with my under 17 team, you know. So me no feel say that for the go on in a football. National program you deal with, it you have to deal with. But then again, probably national under 17
It's
thing
not a
can be a
they
bill
don't
them.
right. They don't play a lot of competition. So why would you want? Remember, say the coach are gonna still hone him skills and knowledge in a competition too. You understand? So it's like an active work for the coach as well. It's not like you have the luxury of having an under 17 coach sitting here in the position not doing anything. If they can go and coach and possible, it's the economics of Jamaica that cause coaches to have multiple jobs. You understand? So they will coach a schoolboy team and they are affiliated with a club as well. So you have to look on those dynamics, Balakar. You cannot subject, especially with our financial climatic condition, you cannot subject a coach just to the under 17. And him skills are gonna go to waste basically because I'm not gonna be active. How often under
Well,
17 tournament unless you have a set of youth you just prepare for under 17 and just and probably as an invited team playing at the schoolboy football. You understand?
just as that.
But if you have the coach, it kind of sticky to have him affiliated with a team because again, people are gonna say conflict of interest, people are gonna say biasness, but at the same time, you can't have a coach in a position and him just sit down. And the coach them have to eat food too. Them have to have provide for them families and them things. So you can't have it both ways.
Well, right now we have to just watch and see. And these under 17 you need to go to the World Cup. And the preparation too late, man.
Yeah, that might be some problem for sure.
So nobody now come on the panel We talk about the topic.
We don't know. No, me I thought, man. And people in the comment section have them reasoning the same way.
Oh.
You understand? We can't push out. The link already dropped, but just for whoever will. You understand?
So
Just whosoever will. Yeah, wait there.
So what you think? What you think? Where you think the Reggae Boys can learn from this Morocco team?
All right. Pretty much, we have similarities with the Morocco team in terms of utilizing players from the diaspora. Right? But the thing about it for me is that we possibly not have selected or called up the best players, the best eligible players, because we have to put that into it, that caveat, because you can't really say the best players. Not all of them really interested in playing for Jamaica. But we have to engage them. Once we know them playing at the top leagues, top competition, we need to engage them in conversation and try to get them to come on board, present to them. Remember, I spoke about this head coach has to be a very good marketing person, because he has to go out there and present his plan to these players for them to be able to buy into the program to come and represent the country. So that is a part of it. I think the marker, it is said that they have that in place and they extensively use it. Without doubt, that is one of their biggest part of getting this team to where it is at the moment. Many people say it's a fairy tale sort of thing. It might very well be, but they have quality players playing in top leagues right across Europe. You have people playing in England in top clubs like Chelsea. You have and the thing about it, you see why they are so, it impress upon them so much to get these players, because Balakar, these players, they are saying goes through top football academies. People pass through Real Madrid. People pass through the Ajax system. So hence the reason why they are saying that it is one of the top 5 variables that would have gotten them to where they are in this World Cup. So it's not just, so basically I get a finished product already, which you locally don't have to do anything like that. So you get top talents who would have gone through top academies, and you have nothing to worry about in terms of development.
Just like how you talk,
Mm-hmm.
as when I say, from city topic,
Mm-hmm.
you know, say right, they say later.
No, but we are doing it. So, aren't we doing it already, Balakar?
Yeah, but listen,
exactly. So you can't say I just this it ago. There are other things we are gonna highlight,
So when we, so for instance, we go because of England, most of the players them the way we just see top players, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we go England now, so for instance, we get 15, 16 players on the Premier League playing in the Premier League to come represent Jamaica, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Jamaicans, we have to talk it, we have to split it right, The Jamaicans that leave from the Jamaican, them will leave out here and playing in Europe and playing good. What gonna happen to them players then?
What happened to which players?
What gonna happen to like them? Can you use an example? Like what gonna happen to the Kaim Paris and them players? What gonna happen to them when we go England and get 18 Premier League players
No,
to come represent
yeah,
Jamaica?
assume say we are get 18 players. Remember, the list out there is
Remember,
large. Hold on now. The list out there is large in a Balakar. But at the same time, not everybody is gonna commit. If the manager is
no,
able
but
to lure them and they buy into the program, of course you're gonna have a lot of them coming. But the local footballers who are plying their trade overseas in top clubs, of course they would also be a part of the thing, Balakar.
you sure about that, coach?
No reason, we are reason. Of course,
Yeah,
the thing said they should be a part. You have
yeah,
players that are, so if me believe no something what me
we
believe, I don't like
yeah
it
we
shaky.
think that we think that they should,
But
but
what if that,
we are the,
but Balakar, what if that is the desire of this new coach?
well, if I feel desire to do that, I feel desire. You have to make it work. You understand? If you want 20 of them, you get it 20 of them and get the result for Jamaica. You understand? And that's why me said, that's why me always, when we come from the program, I say to the youth, them at Jamaica, whenever wanna go overseas and I play ball and I make money, just take care of family because it go end up go right there, sir. And the players them they go come in or if they come in, they're supposed to play football consistent. You can't just sit down on bench and now get no game and then when national team we call up, you want you fit in a national team. No sir. We want to see you they play football and perform day in, day out. Notice with this French team coach, Pogba did ready, coach. Pogba did fit and ready, All they post up every minute because he want the coach to see, You know where coach said to him, say, you're not playing no football.
Suppose this is
Now, but
suppose this is the thrust of this new coach. So whether we have local players that are playing their trade overseas, or they decide to go for the top players in the diaspora, and they are not playing on a regular basis, the coach will definitely pick who is playing. What if that is the route that he takes? You understand?
well, that would have been good. Because we want to know so we players them they play day in, day out. You understand me? We don't want to know so we go get one player, we not get no game. We need to get in these players from now to make them gel together.
That is a thing.
You understand? So if 18 of them would get the 18 of them, make them play together. Because this Morocco team look like them have played a long time together.
But you know that 14 of the players in the squad, in the Morocco squad, they were born outside of Morocco. That's why I say that. Hold on now. Spain,
we know that.
France, Belgium, Canada, and Netherlands. So that's why I made mention of it is a plus because for this Morocco coach, he doesn't have to think about not trusting these players because he believes, and I think that you should believe that they would have gone through very good academy. Like I said before, you have Ajax, you have Real Madrid. Them man have got through the Real Madrid academy and system. So they are very high quality players. And a little fluke team that just come up in at the World Cup for a fairy tale run. Not only that, them beat 3 giants.
Coach, we can say that about Morocco. We can't say that about England because our England players are always overrated and they always push them up. You understand me? More while they want to put them on top and then don't reach up there so yet. No all.
But for me, doing a Balakar, we shouldn't only be looking to England, you know. I believe that wherever the players are represent Jamaica, whether it is Spain, Netherlands, Belgium, and they are
Coach,
eligible and their desires to play for us, why not? I don't hungry England alone. He box us up with England. I see one comment. Ishmael King is saying, with all these noise about foreign, none have proven that these foreign born is totally the answer. No, we haven't proven it. But what we can tell you though, Ishmael, is that and this is my opinion, I don't believe that we have gotten the very best talent overseas that is available to us. I don't believe it. So if we get the very best talent, of course, we might have an argument there.
Coach, we get them one time, man.
Where?
Remember one time in time.
Even when we qualify for the World Cup, you know, I don't think that those were the best talents we have out there available.
All right. Remember, you know, we have some good players, you know. We can talk like the McCleary. We can talk the same Nasworthy. Remember we did have Wally for them and then they come young, you know, coach.
Yeah, but Balaka, were those the best available? Were those the best available? That me I talk about, you know. So if Ishmael is saying noise I met about the foreign born players, none have proven. The people them I assume that he's saying that are making the noise have not proven that these foreign born players totally the answer. But for me, I don't believe that we have extensively utilized the very best option that is available.
Coach, and Fresh God, there is no way Jamaica are going to get the best player. Because guess what? We're not going to get Sterling. We're not going to get Kyle Walker. The list goes on. We're not going to get them, coach. So we have to get like the mediocre them left.
No, but
simple as that.
No, man.
We're not going to get the Ivan Toney.
Me not agree that thought they say get the mediocre left. No. So if that are the case and it is what we have been using and it has not worked, then we need to try something different. You can't be doing the same thing every day and expecting a different result. You have to try something new. Welcome to Rizzo Boss and Qatar.
Coach.
We have to get the best available player.
Coach, good.
So now that means Balakar, we have to get the best available.
Coach, good evening. Good evening to you, Coach. I wanted to chime in before Balakar left the line,
Coach,
with his usual madness. Good night, Balakar.
Have to come on.
Yes, because we cannot have the inmates running the asylum. Hold on, brother. We can't have the inmates running the asylum. So what I wanted to ask you is, after England picks 23 players out of the Premier League, you're saying that the other 300-400 players are mediocre? Bolliker?
No, me not said that.
No, you said after England we are gonna get
not saying that.
But in this case,
me never say after England pick 23, big man.
Yes.
Don't tell no lie for me.
England you're saying we are gonna get the mediocre player them.
Yes, Rob Smith, the best that are available to come.
I'm saying to you, if you go to the fry up man at your corner in your community where I sell fried chicken back, right? Fry up chicken back. and him
Yo,
run
before
out a
we
chicken.
talk
Hold on
to
now.
me straight, man. No content me born out for you.
Hold on. You can't tell me what to say.
With the talk.
No,
Me not
Cataract,
tell
let
you
us
what
stay
to
on
say.
point. Let us
Answer
stay
that,
on
man.
point, Cataract.
Coach, I'm
On
saying,
point, man.
Coach,
If
no,
England and
hold
foolish,
on, Coach. Me not gonna allow Balaker to
you're not
dictate what
going
I'm
to
saying.
talk foolishness tonight and make me go on like, me don't know when me talk to you.
But you
You just
don't.
say, when England pick 23, is
Mhm.
England pool 23 or 26?
So England
That
picks
no one
30.
ask you.
Let's say England picks 30.
How big is England pool?
England pool is 500. Is all the players, is almost 900 and something players is England pool from Premier
Thank
League
you.
right
Thank you
now.
very much.
Right.
Thank you very much.
And I'm saying to you,
And out
where,
of that,
where
after
you
all that 500,
Balaker, you can't just want talk. I ask you to listen to you, so that we can have a conversation.
Go
That
on, go
the
on.
world,
Go
hold on,
on.
brother. When you did that talk, me listen before me plug in them and listen first. So I'm ask you to listen, please. I am saying to you, I'm saying to you that where there's 900 and something players available to England who are professional players. England can go pick a schoolboy if they want to pick, but they don't, right? After England picks its 30-man squad, which is what they generally work with, right? And then they can pick anybody that they want to call in at any time. I am saying to you, are you suggesting by your characterization of those players who are not in the England 30-man pool as mediocre? Because I would say to you, hold on, brother. What is the matter? You can't hold your asses. I am saying to you that I disagree with your statement and characterization that simply because a player is what's not called up to England categorizes them as mediocre. I put it to you that after England has selected their whole squad, there are sufficient quality players left who are better than anything that we have on the island. So
But Cataract, let me interject a little
talk
bit.
to him for me, coach.
Let me interject a little bit. Hold on. Cataract, let me interject because you make it sound. You make it sound like,
coach.
hold on, a Balaker. No talk me a talk, man. Don't let it sound like Cataract when they select the 23. Those are the only players that England would have under their banner.
No, I just said England have 900 players to select from. They don't have any policy, they don't have any quota system. They have 900 players to select from. And they also have selected players who were born outside of England before. If I'm not mistaken, what's his name? The CDM who played for Manchester United. Owen Hargreaves was born in Germany.
Yes.
Right. So England has no qualms in selecting players outside of England. So I am not saying that that's the only players left. I'm saying once they have settled on a pool of players for a tournament, coach, that is the pool of tournament. But due to injuries and withdrawals, they might draft for another player. But the players that they draft for are known because England has a depth chart. Once England is finished, and I put it to you.
And how many of those players are they still fall under the 900?
How many fall under the 900? Then
all right. So they're going to a tournament, and I'm certain that if they select a squad, 26.
Yeah, man.
How many possible players would be on standby? And I'm not even talking. Well, it probably go further than just 7 or 8 because you'd have had persons would have played already.
The players
that would have eliminated. That would have eliminated Jamaica, other countries who would have been interested in getting some of those players now because they would have played already, and they probably would have gotten a cap in competitive games already.
So, coach, the players who are on standby would have. The England starts with a bigger squad, and they bring them to St. James's, which is their training base, and then the squad is cut. The players who are cut are told to keep your bags packed. in case there's any last minute injuries, somebody mother dead.
So let me ask again: how many of those players would have gone to St. James's Park for the training?
For the
You
World
have an
Cup?
idea?
For the World Cup?
You have an idea?
They took 30 players to St. James's Park to select 26.
26. But Cataract, remember that there are other persons outside of that 30 players who would have already been given an opportunity to play for the team.
Yes, they are.
So that would have extended the whole reach of countries who would have seen them as diaspora players to actually get them, because they would have already been capped. So
Coach,
we have to have the balance in a
Coach, let us not beat around the bush.
They are
all right. Hold on, Ballaker. Let me answer.
No, make him talk, Cataract. Remember, we give the persons on the line the preference.
I just want to answer you for 1 minute, and then he can say anything he want to say.
Cataract, just build no man. Remember, you got dip on the program, no man. Make it call talk, no man.
I want to say something. I want to correct you. Me hear the talk. I say the players them over England, because we don't want you to take this thing between what no player on the island can play like them. We never say no local player for the play. You need to listen, because we need to run with the narrative there. The people them that the comment would have feel say me they say the youth them we out here for the play in the national team. So correct yourself. Me just say when England select 30 players, right? And we they go after the rest of the players, them. We they go after Ivan Tone. We they go after and the rest of the players, them. And them, England go look on them and say, we go need you enough.
So so them have promises
still go need you. So what we go do? We go to the championship or League One for players.
No, but Ballaker, that doesn't disqualify us from actually going to get go to these players still now. You see, once they are not cap tied, the opportunity is still there. That's why I'm gonna say it again. We are this new technical team that has been set up, which is the coaching staff. They have to be very good marketers, because if a man like Ivan Toney is on the fringe and he's waiting for his opportunity without being capped, if we can swoop in and talk to him and get him to buy into what we have to offer, then nothing is wrong with that, in my estimation.
You said you would allow me to respond to Ballaker.
Yeah, go ahead. What on the Brian?
Ballaker, please allow me to respond to you and answer Coach. Coach, I want the comment section and those who are going to listen to understand what I'm saying. Outside of the 30 players that England call up, there might be another 40 players who have dreams and aspirations of representing England, right? But what we do know for a fact is that there are 28 players who are eligible to represent Jamaica, who have not been capped by England, who are signed to Premier League clubs. Of those 28, there are 16 starting players in the Premier League who are eligible to represent Jamaica, who have not represented England and are therefore open to us. And my contention is, you must go as long as the lady not married. You can still ask her to marry to you. So I don't want us to speak in hyperbole. And I want to just give some of the names, and Ballaker tell me if these players are mediocre.
All like English players, them overhype and hype up.
Hold on.
Every major tournament, then go and fail. So
when they what?
Say?
When they what?
Every major tournament, then go and fail. England.
So what do
you players them hype up?
Are you hold on? We're not talking about that. You are nuts. Because you're telling you are hold on.
They hype up the players them.
Just keep talking, Ballaker. Coach,
you're not world class player.
Coach, you not moderate. Because
No, give me a thought there.
Well, go ahead, Brian.
hold on. Let me answer. Can I finish?
Hold on,
Because
Qatar, hold on. We don't want to hear the list of players. Let we
no,
hear
I'm not
Brian
saying
say.
you a list of players. I'm asking Bollocker a question because he asked me a question. He then made a allegation that I am saying that about what I'm not saying. But if I'm not allowed to answer, that is fine. But I want to deal with the matter of mediocrity, and I will gladly mute my mic and yield to Brian and make him run for a good minutes unless my name called. I am saying to you, coach, when I give you a list because nobody don't want to hear it because that will cause an embarrassment. I'm saying to you, forget the Ivan Tonys and those who might be on the fringe of England, right? Let's look at a central defender where we know the coach has expressed that he would like to strengthen his central defense, right? He went into the championship for former players like Premier League players like former Manchester City CD centre back Latibedir, right? Let's take centre back. Are you telling me that Lloyd Kelly, who is the captain of Bournemouth, is a mediocre centre back? I want to ask him directly that. And part two is I would like, hold on, man. I'd like you to answer. Can you tell me which centre back on the island of Jamaica approximate?
Coach,
Coach, let me answer.
All right, Qatar. No, go no further, Qatar.
Coach, don't answer. Before Bala can't talk. I'm going to allow you. Hear me still. Coach, night, coach. Balakar, big up. I wouldn't read the boss. Richie. Yeah, bless up Richie, bless up Reggie. Cataract, yeah. What me I say still? You see, discussion, me just think it go continuously going on. I have a never ending cycle where Balakar say one thing, him believe him way, Cataract say one thing.
Yeah.
Yes, so what me I say is more Cataract answer this. Cause me I go yield make him answer, no. Balakar, Bill, Cataract. Me know you say Lloyd Kelly, but the list of names them where you say, where you are say eligible, more you tell me them.
Hold on.
I'm not be mischievous. No, just more name them still for information purpose. Hold on.
Hold on.
So hold on, Cataract. Hold on. Remember, say my time for talking, brother.
Balakar, you can't hang up so the line free up here because some other people are calling here.
Yeah, Cataract. What me I say is, you say you have a name them, I just want you to share them. I don't want you to tell me, I don't want you to ask Balakar who mediocre or who no, because that just have a never ending confusing cycle. So if you have a list of players and what them play for a club and thing, just tell me. Because Balakar alone the thing, you know. Just tell me so we can know and then we'll move on from that. Cool?
Right. No, there are players at different levels of thing. And I think, Coach, you would remember me before saying to you, there are some players who are in some sensitive situation. This one let me just say, for example, there might be some players, Coach, who are fully eligible to Jamaica, fully want to represent Jamaica, and they're just not able to represent Jamaica because they cannot get the necessary documentation. The reason why I pulled Lloyd Kelly out of the hat, right, is that Lloyd Kelly is actually a first-generation Jamaican. However, he was given up by his parents and apparently grew up in the foster home system. So he don't have nobody to call for ask for birth certificate. And
well, Qatar, what I would like to ask before you move on. Don't finish. What I'd like to ask before you move on is that have this individual indicated that he wants to play for Jamaica? Because we can't have a lot of names and a lot of eligible persons, you know. And that me want to move away from. We just have a list of players going around. Them people need to be contacted ASAP if they are at the quality that we say, and find out if they want to play. So if they want to play, they will come in very early. So we can know what to do, where to go, and not have no man come in at the year when competition are going.
Coach.
So I believe that the names that are floating around and the list that are floating around, they are eligible because of what? First generation, second generation, or whatever. But at the same time, we need to know if these personnels are really interested.
So coach,
go ahead.
Coach. And I guess I'm not going to be allowed to finish.
You have to answer a landline, you know.
I'm not going to be allowed to finish anything. So let me say to you, of the 16, I know for a certain fact that one half of them are interested or were interested at some point in representing Jamaica. Right? And coach, I am disappointed that you would ask that question because you know for a certain fact that players who, because you read and you listen.
Cataract, me never hear you say a while ago.
No, I said
me never
players
hear
have
You think a breakup. No.
Yeah, me never hear what you say. Please repeat.
Okay, I'm saying, coach, that you know the answer to that question because there are some of those players who have stated in the public media their interest to represent Jamaica. Right? So those questions I find to be a bunch of red herring. If you have 16 starting players in the Premier League who are eligible and not cap-tied, how hard is it to call 16 calls can make in one day and then we're just over and done with it? I don't want players coming in while the World Cup is going on. I would like them to be brought into the squad from now, build a team that we all can coalesce around and move forward to 2026. And the odd player, because some man might have a breakout season. Ivan Toney did move from non-league to Premier League in 4 years, right? So I don't know if there's a non-league player who in 2026 is going to be starring up the Premier League and they say, okay, call that one man in. But I could never agree that it makes sense to be bringing 8 new players into a team at the start of a World Cup, on the first day of a World Cup qualifying match, bringing players in 8 matches into an octagonal. That can't make sense. But I don't believe that it is a hard thing to do for the Jamaica Football Federation, whoever is responsible. And I don't believe this. That's what I said to you, coach. And I'm going to take a minute. There's a difference between selection and recruitment, and people are playing word gymnastics. I believe there's an administrative job to be doing to take up the phone and call the player and say, are you eligible to represent Jamaica? Really? Are you interested?
But
if you are interested, in that case,
you see, like it's like how we know an extensive list. No, hold on, let me say what I say.
No, but coach,
like hold on, we know an extensive
the team manager to do that.
Huh?
Them say the team manager job
so that me I say now, Brian, like how we know an extensive list. Is a list going to whoever needs to make the call? That's a problem now.
I put it to you that if Cataract want the list to go to the team manager, it can.
No,
you know what? I don't know what's the barrier there.
Hold on. I don't. Listen, my role, if you know this, I play my song, Badman, and I go to stadium and support my team and try to travel as many places around the world and support my team. Me not insert myself in a nothing because the players are known. And me alone have TV.
Cataract, you assume that the people them know, brother. Man can't say no know. You assume them.
From last, see, we are telling Cataract that something.
Cataract, I mean, hold on.
Some of these persons don't know. If they don't watch the program and they don't know.
Hold on. I have provided names to the Jamaica Football Federation of people I know. Right? This is me. A man would say, me tell them about Anthony little cousin True Grant. A man go say to me, so the only player them where you know name Grant. I say, well, yes, the first thing you start is who in the family. And he is the starting goalkeeper for Manchester United's under 23. Is there a problem? Dan Byrne is eligible to represent Jamaica. That's what my information tells me. Man say, oh, them look pan him and him not look Jamaican. How hard is it for you to take up the phone and ask Dan Burn to confirm whether he's eligible to represent Jamaica?
Cataract, let me ask you a
All right.
question.
So here, so the
Cataract,
calls
hold on,
have been
coach.
making.
Cataract, let me ask you a question.
Calls
This is
are
a
making.
simple question, Cataract.
Yeah, man.
Let me ask you is, you have a list, see? You say you have a list. I don't know how much credit on the list. I don't know how you compile the list.
How
I
you
don't know
mean,
the
don't know?
negativity. Hold on, man.
You know, listen to what I say. I just
hold on,
told you that
Cataract.
there are 26 players in the Premier League.
Cataract, hold on, man. Just listen, man. I have seen on multiple programs. I don't know if Mr. Chung come on this program yet, but I've seen him on Ryan Cho, and I think me seen him on this or that. I remember me seen him on I Am Sure Sports, but I have seen him. He's a new Gensec. Him just become the Gensec, and I've heard him on more than one occasion say, if there are players out there who people think that are interested, or players express an interest, or whomever, whatever it is, however this is combined, I have heard him say, if you send the information to him, he himself will give it to the team manager. So I'm saying, me know in the past, Cataract, you have interactions with other people, probably you go to Coach Devon or whoever them go to.
No. Well, on the
Cataract, man, let me say what me have to, brother.
does not work. No, man. Don't. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm
Cataract,
also
man,
saying
just
to
say
you.
something, you say no. Make him just finish the
You
man.
know, finish what me I say,
Let
you know?
me mute my mic.
You know, finish what me I say. What me I say, Cataract is, in the past, probably you would recommend player, maybe. Coach Devon recommend player. I know management would have been instrumental in assisting to get players here. I don't know if him recommend them or however, but them get players here for U20. So what me I say is, if the Gensec say, yo, me just get this job here, you know, and this is how more this thing I forgot. If you have players who think interested, send the information to me, and me we pass that to the team manager who have the responsibility for maintain a database. So that's what the man say, you know, him say the team manager have the duty for maintain a database for the senior team, brother. So if you have some name and you're interested and say you want to help the country, you send it to the Gensec, whose job is to administrate information and things around the JFF, and him will give to the team manager.
But
And
Brian,
if hold on, coach, and if later come down the line, the man in the come play, or them tell them no, you can say no, man, but me send that email upon X date and Y date, you know, and you would say you would do this or that, but you can't just come here so no one say yo, the man them know. Because the man them are going to say them
calls
no.
make Brian, that's the point when I
Okay.
interject and say no. Calls are being made. What I'm getting is that Cataract is saying there's a list, there are eligible players out there, so whoever should make the call should just take up them phone and make some calls to some person and say, all right, me say eligible to play for Jamaica. Are you interested in playing for Jamaica? What is your status and whatever. It sounds to me like that sort of a thing that Cataract wants to be done. But calls are
coach, say nay, but coach Cataract right, you know, him right in the fact that yo, the JFF need to contact the people. But what me I say is, you know, I'm saying in the past, the channel in which he may have gone through may not have been the most efficient channel. So me I say, the Gensec said that here now is a channel in which information can be streamlined, and this person is responsible for doing this. So I'm saying no, if him still have those players, then maybe the right way for the know if he pass it to the Gensec and he will filter information down.
The $1 million question to that doing Brian and Cataract. Does Cataract wants his list to go out?
My list? Coach, please. And don't do that, coach.
It's a question, may I ask. Don't do that.
I have no problem.
Okay, then that's if you answer.
Let me finish. Allow me to finish.
No, but I said that's how you should start it out, by answering. Don't behave like me never have to say it. It's a question, may I ask.
Coach, you're not a look. So, coach, so tonight at the night where every time I say 3 words,
Cataract. I asked you a question, you gave an answer, insinuating like I should not. And you said, no, coach.
No, I'm going to insinuate. I didn't say
So
that.
I'm saying to you, that's not the way you should have gone about it. You should have just go into the question, answer the question, and stop like me know if you ask the question.
I answered the question with the first 3 words. I said, I have, or first 4 words, I have no problem. No.
You didn't, that wasn't your first 4 words, Cataract. Anyways, answer the question.
I have no problem. But I need, there are things that need to be said because you're trying to pigeonhole me. And therefore, when the thing goes out, I'm going to look like the biggest idiot. Let me say this. What I do is research. I am a selector on a sound. The Jamaica Football Federation needs to have in its administrative office someone who researches the background of players, right? So even if I give you a list today, that list changes once a season starts, the first thing me do, is start compile my list, because clubs get relegated, clubs get promoted. Right. They bring in a new batch of players from the under 23. It takes about 3 months. I don't finish any list until the mid-season, like this January, like December now, because I want to have the statistics for half a season, so you can look at proper statistics to say, okay, when I'm handing a name of a person, I just don't hand a name. When I've provided to the Jamaica Football Federation in the past, I've never provided a list of name. I provide a list of name, their scouting, and their statistics, so that whomever it is can make some informed decision, right? But I am saying it cannot be left to one pastor, one selected. I do, while I am very good friends with Coach Devon, I go through the official channels. What I also want to say is that I have been in contact with players who said, I have wrote to the JFF expressing my interest. So they don't need Cataract's list. They need to go into the list of players who have contacted them to say, I'm interested in representing Jamaica. Me personally, this is the last time I do this, because when you take up a phone and call a man, coach, just allow me, I think, or get in contact with a man. You know the first thing a man I tell you, say, I heard a lot of scammers from Jamaica. You're a scammer. Because it sounds like a scamming call. That's not the route that you go and contact professional players. It's just because now I can accredit myself, and I have a call one sound man in a Huddersfield, and then him go link a man and say, yeah man, them man, they are real man, them are football man. You can't talk to them. But is that the way we recruit people? The JFF needs to have a desk dedicated to its research. In England, in France, in Canada, in the United States.
Yeah, somebody should dip on the ground and do that for sure.
Right? Not Cataract. When it comes, for example, to the under 17 squad, I did start, and yes, me did assist and try. You know what I buck up on? Me get a phone call for say, this number has been identified as a number and a human trafficking. Because those players are minors. That is the reality. But here another time, the people say, oh, give me your list, call. And I'm not about ego, and it don't matter to me that in the past, people take the list and then they pretend like they're the persons who found these things and you don't do nothing. And that's plagiarism and intellectual dishonesty. But be that as it may, right? I would like to see a structured process of recruiting the best possible players to be able to make them available to the national coach, who is Mr. Hal Grimson, aka the dentist, who are going to pull our teeth and kick out our teeth me here in the Gold Cup and thing, and he can select. I don't think the JFF understands, from what I've heard, that there's a difference between recruitment and selection.
Yeah, but Cataract, I think a process has started. This is what I've heard. The coach has set up his team, and calls have been made already to some players. So things are happening. But I totally agree with you on the point where persons, there should be someone who tabulates the names or go through the whole list of names of players who play overseas to find out if they are Jamaican or if they have any contact. Put a list together, and also from that list, the calls can be made.
I'll go even further without disclosing and upsetting my source. I know that some things have gone further than just calls being made, but it's still an ad hoc process that started with a man linking Cataract and me giving somebody some name and then them name they get to the coach, and it's like a Chinese whisper, right? That's not a sustainable thing. He's a sick
Yeah,
man.
I agree with the Cataract. That's
Hold
not a
on,
good
man,
step.
before a man agree. What let me drop dead? Right now, my lap, the 117, the man, them call me, I link me right now. Yo, give me, let me say, you know something, brother. We go play one dance and a man spill liquor on my laptop, you know. I want Lenovo laptop me I lose now. All that data, move, shift up. I never have it saved, unlike the thing there in anywhere else, right? It's not sustainable.
Coach, that one for go up some more.
But I want to even go even one step further, coach. We have, because there's a solution, man, me like the which now, a set of Jamaican former reggae boys who live and ply their trade in the United Kingdom. Divide the United Kingdom and say to Darren Moore, for example, here is a stipend. When you, every time Sheffield, Wednesday or whatever, you think with them the day night championship, you finish play somebody, give us a scouting report on ABC. Dion Burton there, West Brom in a thing there. Paul is the manager, but they can't even go call face Paul, right? But he's in the championship. Garrett, who is somebody was appointed to some big position in the FA.
That
There are people who are
when name Joby McEnough.
Hold on now. There are people who are qualified. The only thing that I can tell you now is if a man is eligible for Jamaica. And even when I say to persons, and this is the experience coach, it's about a 90% accuracy, which means 1 out of every 10 players that I tell you is eligible to represent Jamaica may not turn out to be so. Right? I know they're looking for a striker. Strikers are very hard to find. In the league, there's a player, there's Kareem Grant at West Bromwich Albion. One half of the people let me know at Birmingham, around at West Brom, I tell me say the man a Ghanaian. The other half I tell me say him a Jamaican. But why should I be going through that? Who pays my phone bill? Who pays whatever? When there's a simple means that the Jamaica Football Federation can contact the club to say, we would like to speak to. Or they can contact the agent to say, we are interested in recruiting your player. That's the professional way to go about it. When a player is identified, coach, hold on, there needs to be a step of monitoring the player, which is somebody has to keep looking at the games that he plays to see whether he fits into the system, whether his form is good enough. That's a different step to the process. That's how you get the best available players. And in my view, and I'm going to wrap up because other man there's someone want to hear voice. In my view, when we adopt this professional approach, we are more likely to have players give Jamaica the time of day.
All right, Cataract. So somebody in the comment section is giving a little advice, saying that cloud storage is free in age and day like this. So even if something go wrong with your laptop, you should be able to, have it backed up on in the cloud storage.
So I appreciate the thing, but my cloud storage is for Cataract dub plates.
Okay.
That pays my bills. Right?
All right. We have Robert online. Robert, welcome. Robert still there?
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, coach.
Yeah, man. Big up. What say you?
Big up your man on the panel.
So after Robert finished, hold on there again, Robert. After Robert finished, that are just one part of the thing that we can adapt from Morocco, which we have already started, but we think are the best players we need to get from the diaspora. So that is one aspect. We're going into another aspect of it. So go ahead quickly, Robert.
Yeah, Balakar, hey coach. Balakar, you put the head. Balakar asked the coach. He asked the person where we can get from the Morocco team. That's all. Yeah, and then him go back and then start contradicting himself because he not like the idea that Morocco use players who are born in America are high professional players. Then him said to you,
No,
say,
he didn't. He no, him never say no like the idea. He never said that.
never say him not like it, but me I tell you go talk. To me, like he never like the idea because I must say, boy, born local players who apply them trade overseas, I gonna get left out.
You know, he asked about what are going to happen to those players. And I said that
right,
I believe
exactly.
those players are going to be a part of it. And him say, believe.
And
right, so.
And then him say, I talk when him say, no, coach, come not tell lie. No. Then him say, just stop me in my trap, coach.
No.
Anyway, then he must say, the players them in England, well, England left back. Like him that want to say them ordinary, some of them ordinary. Which might 1 and 2 or might be. But coach, that is not really the problem why we have failed with these players. And we fail to talk the right thing why we are failed. We have failed with these crop of players because of the JFF and the ways, and they did not hire a proper coach to coach this because they went the cheap way at that time, saying that they don't have funds to get a good coach to coach these players. The under 20 team lose because of don't have a proper coach. Fuzzy has a B license, a CONCACAF B license called to them. The coach who coached Damrick had a UEFA license. You cannot put up a CONCACAF B license up to a man who have a UEFA A license or a UEFA license, whatever it is, a big license. It's the man who have the international license who can coach anywhere in the world. He might succeed at all times. The JFF go the cheaper way, get tougher. Who come and say pan national TV say Paul all talk to the overseas and him deal with the local. No sensible coach would never do something like that. That is why our bid for the World Cup failed, because we did not have the proper coaching in place for the players we had.
But Robert, we don't want to rehash because we know all of these things.
I don't rehash. It's a simple coach. Because
hold on, Robert.
What license the
Morocco? Robert. Continue.
Coach, what license the Morocco coach has?
I don't know. You know?
Can get it. I don't know, but
I looked it up, coach. He's a pro license coach. Just Google the man.
Okay, all right.
He's a pro license. Look on transfer market.
You can get
transfer market. It's a with more of pro license, you know.
Nobody knows it's with more than a pro license coach. But listen, me I say, you can get.
Okay, coach. Call the Morocco coach and ask him.
Me if you call him, I don't have a man number.
that you tell me for the way I tell you anything. We must call this man and call that man.
Me tell you if you call nobody cataract.
No man,
oh,
you
God, man.
Tell me no man. I want to call him. I will call him. Man.
Me not tell you to call him. I never tell you to call anybody.
Man threatened to call. We call him at MI5 for me say me a scammer.
See how disturbing man tracks.
But got your track. Play your tracks, Robert.
Hey. But what I'm saying, coach, that is the problem, and now we have a proper coach. We need to give him the chance. As I always say, coach, we need to give that man a chance and let me see what this man is about.
Mm-hmm.
Because this man come with his own team.
Right. So we tick the box there. We get a top level coach.
And
yeah,
coach, that augurs well for Jamaica.
And based on the few games that we see him take charge of, it look like something a brew. I don't know if a coffee.
Yeah, it look promising.
Yeah, but something a brew.
So stop tell Balakar, so stop worry about. Because, hey, coach, I want to tell you, no, for we are company program, I come ball with a coach, I pick the right team, and some player with some money talk about,
Robert, you see how me see how the Jamaican fans them still? Any team pick, there are gonna be a section of the fan base that have a problem with it. So yes, people are come on ball.
But people talk about, but hey coach, I want you to know, people are come on ball, but you see two we are bandwagon this. You see anytime Jamaica team start win, it's argument all over the court. Remember me tell you, anyone we see Jamaica start with 5 but
Carla, you know what worries me the most? When we look like we are going to qualify, this is what worries me. And I pray to God I'm alive in 2026, right? When we are qualified, I fear that if the local structure is not reformed, there is going to be a crab in the barrel mentality of persons trying to push their players on the coach to get them into the World Cup squad. So I don't worry about Englishman coming to take man game when we qualify. I worry about a local player at a connected club. I show about Jamal Lowe. Maybe just get that thing there. Right? Because a man want film player go at the World Cup, so film player can sell for $1 million like baby. That's what I worry about when we don't have the proper structures put in place and a vision. Because coach, one thing that you never said, in your earlier thing, Morocco and those countries have a vision of qualifying out of the group stage. The JFF's only
look where them there.
Hold on. Yeah, brother. But look what JFF, the only articulated vision that I have heard from the JFF is, we are in the business of transferring local players from local clubs to play in England and the top in those leagues so that the local clubs can make back money. That is their vision statement as uttered, right? By senior functionaries. Go ahead, brother. You can't cut me this time.
But Cataract, look at, you know how much money Morocco gets to the country right now to build up their football?
Brother, the money and sponsorship are coming like foolishness.
Yeah, you know how much sponsorship them all get now? You know how much money because them reach semi-finals of the World Cup, brother.
I am suggesting to you that
just stop with foolishness, Cataract. If we just stop with foolishness and do the right thing to that in the same position. And stop the biasness and talk about overseas player and local base player. If we just do the right thing, we could have in the same position,
But bro,
millions of US dollars for the team them to fill up with ball, in our country right now.
Millions. Because I am suggesting that right now, Adidas, Nike, and Puma will be fighting each other.
No, Puma have the link already. They're not fighting now.
Puma have to fight for themselves.
No, they're not. Oh, they're for fight.
From Morocco. Then when you have your wife and a man start calling her phone.
Cataract.
Nike start calling the phone of Morocco.
Cataract. I know so go, man.
Coach, listen to coach, please. Anybody, though we are intelligent people. Every contract has an expiration.
But we don't know if it expires, so you can't just throw that out.
I did not say that it is expired. I'm saying
I did not say you said that. Me say you don't know, so don't just throw that out there.
And what I'm saying to you is that people don't start negotiating when the contract expires.
But you Cataract, and that's why I'm telling you to stop, That's why I'm
go through a process.
All right, talk.
They go through a process called courting. So if the contract is expiring in 2026, they will court Morocco to say, when the contract expires, this is what we will offer you. So the negotiations and putting things on the table would have begun. They can't break the contract that they're in, but all contracts have an end.
And Cataract,
yes,
there are some clause and time period that you cannot just run and have no courting. That's all I wanted to say to you before you go ahead and talk about courting.
So, coach,
you can't do that.
What, so hold on. You're saying to me that if a FedEx package or a email document comes to the Moroccan FA from, let's say, Nike, they're not
going to do it. They're not going to do it because these companies know that they cannot do certain things.
Not going to do what?
All right, get there.
No, I'm just asking. I am asking you. You're just speculating. Coach, you have been with athletes. You have been in athletics and track and field.
But me talk of knowledge of how the thing go, Virgin. Me not talk about half of the back of me and speculation. That's what you are doing.
I am not doing that, coach.
Of course, you have about package command and FedEx and all these garbage. I know so you go, Virgin.
So, coach, you don't have track athletes who have broken off their ties with long-standing ties with Nike to sign for Puma, and vice versa.
I didn't hear you.
You don't have track athletes up to recently, local track athletes who had long-standing relationships with one sports brand that broke off ties with that sports brand. And I am saying, do I know these things? Because remember, I have family. And they have sponsorship.
Cataract. And that's why I ask you if you know when the contract is going to end. They can't in the middle of no contract and boy court, Virgin.
So okay. Let's leave that and move. I'm not going to detail the show. We'll leave that for another day. But
anyways, let us move to the point of the Moroccan Football League. They have a very potent football league. Now, you see this comment on the screen? Because the league is a top league, some of the fans, like what is happening in Jamaica, were skeptical of the players from the diaspora. Right? They have issues with that. But now, as Nitro said, everybody up in arms because of that. So the Moroccan League is something that they fixed, that they have a well-run professional league. That is also something that we can emulate as a federation or as a nation. Our league, and I see the persons who are running the league are trying their utmost best to get it at a particular level. I think we're still possibly in teething process, baby stage. You understand? So it is something that we should work on, because they utilize the diaspora player, but at the same time, they still have local players coming out of their league that why? Because it is a top league. Right? So Cataract and Robert, you think that can help?
100%, coach.
100%, coach.
Nothing further can help. Any country that is successful in the semi-finals, and we make a comment. Any country that's been successful in the semi-finals, they all have well-run professional leagues. So that lesson needs to happen.
And Cataract, you see the leagues, the league. It blossoms some very top players, you know. I think the goalkeeper Bonnet, whatever it's pronouncing, and Nezari also came out of the league.
Yes.
One of the other thing is that they produce or they invest in world-class stadiums, football program, right? So that has seen Morocco consistently bid for some of the most significant sporting events. The local league has enjoyed prosperity, and its club continue to churn out great talents. So you see, the infrastructure is a very
coach. I want to
critical.
ask you a question because you have hit upon a nail on something that I really wanted to bring up, and I would like an answer from the JFF. When the bid,
hold on,
it's on what you have said. Is that what you have said?
Okay.
When the bid was being prepared by CONCACAF for Canada, Mexico, and the USA to host the World Cup, why didn't Jamaica put in or negotiate to be a part of it, to even host one quarterfinal? Hold on, coach, let me finish. That's what I'm talking about. Vision to host even a quarterfinal match or a round of 16 match that we could have qualified automatically. And hold on, that would have required us, when it came to cricket, we invested millions in building the Greenfield Stadium at Trelawney. When it came to World Cup, we invested millions in the upgrade of Sabina Park. And I think we could have upgraded one stadium facility to world-class standards that could have allowed a country that takes in 3 million plus tourists per year to an X number of hotel rooms available across the island to could have host one football game in the World Cup, but man have no vision, coach.
Well, you basically answer your question in a
Okay.
And you see,
sorry.
The other day when you spoke of Japan and Croatia, and I told you, because these world-class stadiums that they would invest in, it takes cash to care. It takes money.
But coach,
hold on, let me finish. No, but me no smoke. Listen, it takes money, Cataract, and I told
coach,
you,
you're well off the butt, man. No. Your favorite
please,
word that but
please, I don't smoke and I don't butt men. Okay, nobody a matter of fact. So nobody go there, Cataract. Anyways, let us get back on point. I'm saying to you, I initially told you when you made those points about Croatia and Japan that the federation lacked vision. And who I use about these terms now? Cataract. I may say financially, we are not up to Japan and Croatia level. No, it's very interesting to hear Cataract coming to his senses and saying that they lack vision. Let me shake your hand.
Coach.
Virtually.
Coach.
Go ahead, Robert.
I virtually thump off in this. Robert. Coach, know that I've been talking about the vision from even last year. So
but so why when Robert, you say it, you never want to agree with me, Cataract?
I did not disagree with you.
Agree with me,
you said money. And I said
money and vision. Me said both of them. I said.
And I did not agree with you about money because ants fall off.
So how would they make the world-class facilities?
Because those big stadiums around the world are sponsored stadiums. They have
names. So
it's
sponsor? What sponsored? Where sponsor them give?
You get a marketing person who is not a peasant.
What does the
money.
sponsor
give money? But
thank you
don't
very much.
have to find your own money. Man. But Robert, come in, man. Because I don't want to make a point. Me take on coach.
Hey.
Argumentatively.
Coach.
Right here, Robert.
You think you still not to win Morocco? I know they're gonna build stadium. And I know the world. I know the world. I gonna put them eyes for Morocco lead. I know they're gonna sell player. And at the same vision we want for Jamaica if we just keep quiet and get the right things in place and go to the World Cup and do well. If we did what Morocco did and did business about the people who was saying about this a player and that a player there and get a proper coaching staff coaching team. No one coach and then 5, 6 other local players. Like how this coach come with him team, with him selected coach them. If we had done this from the beginning and allow the coach, the professional coach, to do his work, we would have been to the World Cup. We would be in the same position. We might not reach as far as Morocco reached, but we'd have accomplished.
Yeah.
No.
People coming here want to look at our players, put them eyes on Jamaica, like how Morocco now. All the whole world, all the competition them around the world now have their eyes on Morocco players. You think them are gonna say that the player them where them have play for this a club here, this a club here, and then they say them ban. That them a look for them and say, what Morocco do? They must have some good players down there. Why them reach the final of the world?
Not only that,
Coach,
too, you know, Robert. Hold on, Qatar.
Mohammed,
the point here. Mohammed, the point.
Make the
Hold
point
on,
and I want
Mohammed,
to
the
challenge
point.
you.
So remember your point before. I don't want persons to believe that this Moroccan roller coaster, wanting of a better term, has come because nothing. It is seamless. Nothing has happened bad and they didn't have any issues and whatever.
Yeah,
I put it to you that they had issues. No, they have a home-based contingent and we have to take that into consideration. And we say we are trying to mirror it, you know, and see what can work. So we talk about the diaspora. We talk about the importance of building a proper club system. But the home-based contingent, the recent success of Morocco clubs on the continents means more chances for its local players in the national team.
But coach, you just hit the nail on the head, and then I'm going to lock off your sound. I'm in a clash mode. Coach, what does our local clubs do? What is our performance of our local clubs at the continental level? We get knocked out.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, Qatar. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I never finished, man.
No, man. Me never finish, you know. I mean, start the point. I thought you wanted to say
it's a long point.
And
so I was agreeing to you that is the salient point. That the local clubs, Cavaliers and Waterhouse, when they go to play a Haitian team that has not played in 2 years and train for 3 days, they cannot get defeated. They must reach to the finals and win. Let me not even say win, right? In
at
this
least
first
go to
stage,
the finals.
at least reach to the semi-finals of the thing.
But the point I'm making, Qatar.
Quiet, my brother.
The point I'm making is that
you're not ready for lock you off yet.
No, man, I don't lock off thing, man. Remember, so we are trying to mirror the thing.
Yeah, man.
If you're not clash mode, I am not.
It's not a lock off. It's not a lock off thing. I don't whip, man. But I have a dub here for you.
No, man. You know me bulletproof.
No, because coach, all of this,
make the point, man.
Make the point.
Yeah, man. Like I was saying, they have a home-based contingent, which was critical part. Hold on, Robert.
Yeah.
If you have a talk, mute.
Stop telling the woman line, Robert.
Yeah, just mute the background.
You're there on YouTube, you know, they are work.
Remember, say this a not a private forum, it's a public forum. People will splice the party and care go give who never forget, you know. Anyways, they had Tagnoti, Allah, and Jabrin are members of the home-based contingent for the Morocco team in Qatar. The trio was a part of the Wydad AC side that conquered, may I say it 3 times because there are 3 players, the continent in 2022.
Coach, you read it 3 times.
With Jabrin, one of the leading goal scorers in the CAF Champions League. So, as you rightfully say, Qatar, the point where you're going to make, you say you're going to shut off the sound. But basically, I believe we are going to both say the same thing. The teams have to be doing well, and the players have to basically come to the fore so that they can actually get into the national team.
And coach, on that point, there can be no disagreement. Sometimes it's what not said, you know. Nowhere in the article did they say the national Moroccan team was used as a shop window to show local players to get overseas contracts. Nowhere in there did it say that the national team had local players for their development. They spoke to the clubs and the important role of clubs. So you and I cannot disagree on this. Where I want to lock you off, coach, and I was really waiting until Morocco maybe got to the finals.
Well, I know
Was when
the
I
finger,
said
the finger is over the end broadcast now. So if that you want me to go ahead.
When I said to you last year, coach, that it is my vision and dream for Jamaica not only to qualify out of the World Cup for the World Cup, but to qualify out of the group stage and go on to even reach the finals and maybe in my lifetime lift the World Cup. You were part of the people that laughed me to scorn.
Really?
Yes, coach.
Provide that evidence for me, please. If you're going to lock off Dan, if you're going to lock off me, you have to provide evidence.
Me was the only man, the only voice that said, and Robert, your man will listen to the program.
I don't remember objecting to that, so you have to provide evidence. And if you provide the evidence that is so,
now, Robert, what you have seen
yield
is
so
that
you can't just throw that out there like that.
Coach, remember say a year or so when I play Patriotism, you come in like stone up. When
No,
you play by
the
yourself,
evidence
when
is,
our
remember,
time to play, you turn down the sound.
It's a public forum. Evidence should be there. Since you are saying that, you should be able to find the stream. I don't delete streams or private streams, so you should be able to find it.
I will do that, coach.
Thank you very much. And then when you find it, you bring it.
Before the end of this World Cup.
So you can't say you're going to shut off the sound when you don't have no evidence for that. So you're flapping our shoulder.
Robert, me are the only man that spoke about the fact that a unfancy team with proper preparation and by selecting its best possible players, by rejecting xenophobia, could reach to the furthest ends of the World Cup. That it was not an exclusive boys club for the big boys to bamba only. And unfortunately for me, I am sad because it's Morocco and not my beloved Jamaica that is having the Cinderella run in this World Cup. I would have wished and hoped that
get our next chance.
I would have wished and hoped that it would have been my Jamaica with Mikel Antonio, with Shamar Nicholson, with Damian Lowe, with Ethan Pinnock, with Ivan Toney, with a proper CDM who's young of age like Isaac Hayden, with young players who are, on the fringe of the thing, all rallying to get the best 23. I would have hoped that today we would have been, imagine today if we were having a conversation about Jamaica, what lessons the Caribbean and the rest of the world could learn from Jamaica as we approach the semifinals. But we now have vision on certain things. And it is unfortunate, Robert, because in other sports, we can be world beaters. In track and field that coaches are part of, they don't limit themselves to say, oh, yeah, you're saying must just reach at the 100-meter finals. We expect to win gold. And Shelley, but for some reason, our football, through, in my view, greed and incest, an incestuous structure. And I would hope that, coach, one of the things you point out, and I have looked it up, nowhere in the Moroccan system do I see they have a technical committee. Nowhere. And nowhere in the Moroccan football FA do I see that they have parish FAs. I have looked it up when you put up the where you call it, like flyers, where you put up the posters. I did some research. And I hope that you have the gonads.
Yeah, but you can't say parish FAs, Cataract, when Morocco is not structured like how.
They have a breakdown. It's not just one whole country, coach. They're no smaller FAs.
It is not structured like Jamaica, so
coach, there are no smaller FAs. There are no smaller FAs making up the Moroccan FA. It is one FA that is responsible for football across a country that is 10 times the landmass of Jamaica and with a much bigger population. So I would hope that, I know we're coming to the end, but they might have a part 2 where we can reasonably discuss how the structure of the Jamaica Football Federation can be or is a hindrance, and what lessons can we learn from Morocco in terms of its footballing structure and how it aids the development. And lastly but not leastly, the president of the Moroccan Football Federation is not the president or affiliated with any club in Morocco. I checked that one out.
Okay. All right. So Rob Smith said a point, Cataract said the local players did not play in the World Cup qualifier until the final round. I hope that I asked him a question just to follow up to see if he'd be able to answer. So we can have a little clarity. But listen now, the coach, Reggae, I don't know if I saw him name pronounced. He was a quick fix to what Morocco had going on. Oh, JPL players, he said, okay. Now, he's seen as the Moroccan Pep Guardiola.
Coach,
he took over the reins, from a coach that...
But coach, you have to stop him. You have to stop Rob Smith, because that's not true. Richard King played in the opening 3 matches of the qualifiers. And Jadine White was a part of the first qualifying group in the things. So don't
So what do you mean by clear JPL players, Rob Smith? Fetch Rob Smith.
But isn't Jadine White and Richard King clear? And Hacker. Don't forget Hacker came in.
I think people are saying that Hacker never... Well, that is even worse. Umberland he was attached to.
How you mean a big lie? They called up Kyle.
Wasn't Richard King a part of the Mexico?
He didn't play
did
Mexico.
He go or
he didn't
did he
go
not?
to Mexico. He didn't go to Mexico, coach.
Yes, he went to. Yes, he went to Mexico.
No, man.
He never got to Mexico, man.
And they have a visa issue. Right? But he was called up. He was called up.
That's our next can of worm. Anyways, let me go back to my conversation. You know what? That distract me right now because baseball Rob Smith is saying.
I come tell beer lie.
No, me not say my lie. Based on what he's saying.
So, but Hacker played. So let me stop this. Because we find the elephant in the room. Hacker, Javed Watson was a bench player at which club, coach? Humble Iron. Good. Right? So there you have it. But I joke them that bad man thing for. How you mean?
No, but that's why I'm telling you, that's why I put in my caveat in a Cataract. That we might be using overseas players, but were they the very best for them? Were they the very best that we...
No, they were not.
Had on
coach,
offer?
we couldn't know that, coach. I tell you, coach, we couldn't know because we never have a proper coaching staff.
All right.
Wait, Travis Paseo. You love
hold on. That's why I said don't get distracted, No, time I run, I want to cover this thing. So the coach that came in The coach that came in was a very good coach. There were some ramblings in the Morocco team. They were in disarray because of what the Hollyhodics did as the previous coach. He basically had some issues with the players. He dropped top players and so forth. While this new coach, he came in, he harmonized the team, called back Zaish and all of these players. And this is what they're actually achieved throughout what he has done. So in basically coming with a quick fix, some sort of psychological touch to it, and he's getting the best out of these players. You know what I mean? And they are actually rewarding him and themselves for basically having faith in calling back them up to the team. You know what I mean? So these are some of the things that we could adopt. Like Robert did I say, get a top coach. So we check the box there already. Get the top league.
Exactly.
Get the top our competition, our local league to the top. X data box there. So the powers out there are listening, they have to get that one up. We need to continue to get the best. And when we say get the league up to 4, it can also ensure that the quality of players that we get from the league up to par, because they mention the local or homegrown contingent that is a part of this, albeit it was like probably 3 players. And also continue to invest in the power of the diaspora. That is very critical. I think that one topped the list because most of their players are from the diaspora. So these are some of the things.
Coach,
so we have that box tick, but we still need to get the very best. That's all I'm saying.
Coach, you know what hurt me? You know what hurt me, Coach?
Mm-hmm.
Is that we on social media, since it began, we've been preaching this. As what Cataract said, we've been preaching it. And yet still nobody never listen. And then Morocco come and show them up where we that say, but for we side, where we the one for we team, Morocco can show all of the critics them say it could happen, it could be done. While we Cataract that talk about, all we you that talk about, Coach, all we the liar them come and talk about. Neo, everybody, what were we discussing, cranky, what we were all was talking about this bad blood between players and the coach inside. We shall run a tapper from the World Cup and getting a professional coach, and you just see what would have happened, Coach. I tell you about JFF kick with the ball, lesson. And kick for the ball. And Morocco just come and show us what could happen when you get somebody who's a top coach. You could have all of the pieces, Coach, but if you don't have who to put the puzzle together, it never come out. And that we feel that. And now we get a good coach.
Yeah, man.
We
just want to look on the positives going forward now.
Good.
Because I think we're in a better place than where we are now. A better coach.
Coach.
I think the Gensec seem, based on talks, wants the best for the competition or the JFF, and by extension the Reggae Boys. So we have to just be a little bit patient now to see how this thing pans out, because like the Eagles, we'll be looking out, we'll be high above, looking in, zooming in, zoning in,
Coach,
and see what how things are going. And whenever slip, we try to put things back on track. Yes, Qatar.
Coach, I believe that we have an opportunity for 2026. But I believe it starts with a vision. But I hope you just allow me 1 minute to just address something because it's ongoing and with no fear, Coach. When someone just keep granting him out on the mouth and a thing about me, I spread rumor. And Coach, you see this here, sir? Let me show you. Just a show you, because I'm not violate.
Hold on, before you go, me
No,
not
coach,
see
just
it. Me did see how
coach, see it right, see it right, you know. This a Paul. Me and Paul talk every day. You know, I go see the message. Every day me and Coach Paul talk that God put on the earth. And he's never picked Anthony Grant. He's the man that dropped Anthony Grant. Me that carry belly, brother. So, when I move and go with a little ism and schism. Because every coach, but coach, every day, me come and go easy, you know, coach. Cataract. Okay, I'll be the cataract. Okay, let me come back to the CV. Never call it with a nice thing.
Cataract.
But you for defend that, coach.
You, cataract.
No, he who angers me, I go feed it. Because, coach, the truth of the matter is,
angers you, conquers you. So, yeah, behave.
Coach,
oh, that's so them want to see you behave, you know.
No,
just forget about that, no, man.
No,
let me talk about this. One broker is saying, hold on, man. Zeich was one of the best players in Netherlands when he chose Morocco. Would one of the best players in England pick Jamaica?
Yes.
Over England?
Yes.
We don't know.
If we had the proper system.
Yes.
If we had the proper coach, the proper system, the proper if we know how to welcome our players, them.
Robert.
Of course, if we fix the condition.
Robert, Mikel Antonio was one of the best strikers in England. And I can categorically tell you that up until the plane took off and they have Wi-Fi in the sky, all the way to Jamaica. Coach, you know this fact, that Gareth Southgate was on the phone to Mikel Antonio telling him not.
But one next thing, cataract, one next striker.
Right. Go ahead.
One next striker, Ivan Toney, top striker. Why never choose us? Is it because of the structure?
Coach, I believe that Coach, I believe that Ivan Toney. I believe that the Ivan Toney to this day has never been contacted by the top brass of the Jamaican hierarchy, and that the way in which the contact was made, although best meaningful, it was not a professional approach to a top striker. I believe that if the JFF had come to the nation and said, we want Ivan Toney, the whole of Jamaica, want to go up on the man Instagram and just message him, be a Jamaica flag every day and make him feel loved and make him feel welcome. If they took an all of nation approach, if they spoke to the diaspora and tried to help Marcus Gale, and Marcus Gale alone did a bat for in England and I talk to the man. If they had gotten the community leaders in London, the High Commissioner did go visit him, I believe he would have been a player today. But I also believe that he will be a player in the future. But you know things to coach. And you know some other little things are happening in the background with certain other top players. But I am saying there is at least one top player who picked Jamaica over England. And England is not like, so it's not like England didn't try.
But Omari Hutchins is a top youngster and pick Jamaica.
But there are others. Yeah. Connor Boyz Clark. Coach, we can coach. Remember that the under 20 coach. Remember that the under 20 minutes I said to you, and a man come on here, Balakar, I think it was, if I'm not correct, or another one. They try and they come discredit the man. I said the man I play for St. Albans as a little bush league baller that because him run go Google. And I had to point out to him that was the player that England wanted to play for their under 20. And then him go get two goalkeeper and I come tell me, say, no, him not the man. When the man was in the England setup from under 15 coming up, and he chose to represent Jamaica. But we gave him a coach that no make it. Right? So I agree with what you're saying, Robert. Because
Go ahead, Robert.
It had the under 20, Robert. Why couldn't we have gotten
social media no coach?
What about the social media?
Powerfulness of the social media.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We don't know how powerful social media is in a coach.
Robert, you are correct. Robert, if you get 10,000 new followers from Jamaica, you think he wouldn't come play for Jamaica?
Yeah. So
Or 25,000 now they go follow him.
When we have
Probably the football support not so wide.
So call and coach. When the stadium full up at 35,000 people.
Shut up their mouth. What do you coach? You think you play them now, listen? You think Ivan Tony or a Tyreek, whatever his name, no listen go on social media and search and find out some bad things that some Jamaica we don't know better come and talk about, say them a reject ball and all and something. England, that's why they might come play for Jamaica. You think if the player them no year, coach? That's why we need to get rid of this. This a time, coach. When some man come with program and a chat out, you just cut them off with their negative vibes. I tell you, when they go one side with their negative vibes, coach, because sometimes I don't know opinion, but that negative vibes they might come on Jamaica and like that.
But we don't get the truth, brother.
Clear up that coach.
But coach, we don't get the truth, Robert. The man that tell you say him not support Jamaica
ever.
Not even at France 98. Not even at the greatest moment he did support Jamaica. That's why they might tear down the team. So I agree with you, but it's coach's program. But me not give no man no platform to go tear down nothing. You have to help build up everything. And coach, you build it and they will come. And if you have been watching Reggae Boyz commentary, it's younger and younger players that tell you say they might come play for Jamaica. Younger youth. Remember say when Mr. ISP chased the company first, he said that there's no teenager in England that would commit their future to play for Jamaica. Remember that? Remember good, no, man. You have the Callum Ebanks. You have the Cuba.
This program in a cut the cataract.
Yeah, man.
You remember when a player named coach we just start a young player we just get him fast for the again.
Hutchinson.
Omari Hutchinson.
Me hear people on social media say the youth no good.
Yes.
Me tell you that. Me hear people I know Chelsea having fan bench. I know everybody has said, come on, we must cap this player before we lose him to England. And that me hear people say no. And when them people are talking about Hutchinson and when do you see that Taylor Hart or something like that?
Kido.
When me hear people,
them man that beg to play for Jamaica. The man fly come at Jamaica. Remember, hold on, Robert. Remember, a man asked me, remember Kido Taylor Hart coach did come at Jamaica for getting passport, and I walk up and down around Jamaica. And we as fans, people pick him up on him social media. The youth walk around clueless for a thing. And there was no help. So don't say to me that the players won't choose Jamaica over England. But how can they choose Jamaica when you not show them no love? Remember, good coach Emil Smith wrote it, said, England or Jamaica, whoever call first. I will never forget that. Whoever called first, and now I defy one member of the GFF to show me one phone call when they try make to the youth. And that was said to the world that never said no cataract channel, as Travis must say, would have bet me and spread rumor. You never did hear that, Robert?
Of course.
And I know when I call the youth, I didn't get it one cap and done.
I did idiot them where you see come start disrespect people, but and the truth that them come on social media, come chat all kind of shit about the player, them and reject and all kind of something. And it hurt me, man. Hurt me. You know what I'm saying? I know them want to come to the same thing all over back again because and then Morocco show them up and I know them are if and but on the program and that chat. But what's going to happen to the local players who is playing overseas? If you deserve to be in the national team, you're going in there now because it's a coach that's different. If you're good enough, no matter where you come from, you're going to make the team. And that's what we want. We don't want nobody to talk about say, because you're born in Jamaica, you fit in the team. Or when you're not good enough because you're born there, you fit in the team. It's wrong, coach. I tell you.
Coach.
And them the kind of stuff they want.
You see the comment that you highlight? It's not
Sorry.
any young player, you know. These are players who
Yeah, man.
are starting
Hutchinson
for
go on
their
a bag of
academy
things,
team.
man.
These
you
are some
mean?
of the best available young players in England. And some of them won't transition and won't make it, but that's just the way of football. But some will. And a God would have to come down off of the cross. Jesus himself would have to come down on the cross and tell me the reason why the man them never call, or the reason why the man them never make contact. You are right. And because the man white or appear to be white, we still have a problem with the color of a man's skin. And those, if we want to talk the real facts, there must somebody thinking it. But coach, I wish Morocco well. Me never see that one they come in. Me don't know no man when they see that coming. But at the end of the day, this was not luck. The man them scored them goal. Their defenders stood up. And they didn't even get a red card, no coach. In the last part, or is this evening?
Yeah, they get man on a red card, they job.
They played 10 minutes with 10 men. So they defended what would I call a rear guard action. Right? And they deserve their place in the semifinals. You don't reach a World Cup finals and semifinals by being lucky or by chattings. I know chattings do it.
Yeah.
You understand?
So they're going to be playing. They're going to be playing France, the defending champion. You think them they are going to be able to?
Oh, what a la la! What a
Coach,
right now you can't call no game in the World Cup. You can't call no game in the World Cup, coach. You're a brave man if you go talk about prediction.
Me not part of the World Cup thing, you know, but coach. But may I tell you, say Morocco has done well already.
Say no matter where happen.
Even if them not part, no matter what happen, even if them not part France, coach, the team where nobody expected to reach a semi-finals of a World Cup. You know what big team? Look at Germany. The German was out from the first round.
I told people, you see, when we did that do me,
4 times World Cup winner.
When we did that do my chart, I said Germany now make it out, you know. Man then say, yo, coach, how you do this Germany? I make up put Germany up top, and then still not make it.
All right. So I tell them, I don't really know the World Cup thing without my side. You know, Jamaica me say, Jamaica be always say. When people are going with them foolishness.
This is the first Jamaica. This is the first World Cup me watch.
Me happy. Me happy with Morocco do. I tell you. Me happy.
Yeah, man. It's just.
But
we have a long way. We have a long way to
go. But it's not only Morocco. Robert and coach. You have the Senegals, the Cameroon. You have teams that have gone beyond what they were expected to do. The Tunisias of this world, right? So it is not Japan. They come within a whisker, right? So I would want to commemorate all the teams that have performed against the odds and have put the bookmakers to shame. Right? Morocco being the one that has gotten the furthest. But I not only them. Any team that went there with a proper mission. Look at Cameroon. Coach, you realize that the goalkeeper that played the last match is the little teenage goalkeeper that they come on and play against Jamaica. You realize that?
No, me never prayed that.
Yeah. Because he just went there as a third string goalkeeper, you know. Remember them, they said they might select 2 local players and Abukar and him. And he end up having to face the thing because the one that play for Inter Milan or playing at Italy, they have to send him home. Because he go out with beer foolish. So,
but time is against us, you know, whatever.
Meanwhile, we are talking about the players who are so great because they look good in Manning Cup. While teenagers are looking good in the World Cup.
A caller coming in, yes, so may I answer that caller.
Yeah, man, do you think?
Yeah, man, big up.
Big up, Robert. Stay safe. Bless up yourself.
Caller, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, coach.
Big up yourself.
Yeah, man, big up yourself. I will put up on the panel with you.
I just scatter out there, man. Some persons were on and them
Put
cut.
some respect. The big bad mighty cataract.
Big
Oh
up
God,
yourself,
bless
cataract.
up, bless up, bless up.
You know me come to drag you again, don't.
Oh.
Yeah, man. So coach. All the while me hear the man them a say boy, like me hear cataract or a man, me not sure if a cataract, so me don't accuse nobody. But a man a say boy, diplomats be involved and some diplomatic thing. Yes, me you know me look for national football thing is a patriotic thing where if a player is good enough and him can reach out to the JFF, you know, JFF and diplomat and diplomatic mission and all them things. With them things they come in a national football, man.
So,
You know, them national football, I don't know where you're supposed to bargain for. A man good enough and him put in him hat in the ring and him go to the camp, and if him go to the camp and him get invited and him come play some football and him qualify to make team him up on the team. And so I think it's supposed to go all this bargain thing and all these jump through hoops and all them things. That means to say we are force people to become to show them national pride. We not understand this thing support.
Caller, let me ask you. Do players call up the FA in England and say they want to play for England? Is Gareth Southgate getting calls? I'm asking a question. So why should players be calling up Jamaica?
Because then why should Jamaica diplomat? Why? So let me ask that question.
No,
so diplomat in this does the British Home Office involved in players getting called up to go play for the national team, like how you say,
actually, yes, because Owen Hargreaves had to get his British citizenship. I said diplomats because getting the citizenship. Yeah, but that may I talk about. I said the mission in England, the High Commission that deals with getting a passport, need to get involved. That's what I'm saying. The diplomat no pick them no pick player, but they have a responsibility in England for the diaspora. There's a desk from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that deals with diaspora affairs. Those footballers, professional footballers, are part of the diaspora. So we are saying that the diaspora desk need to get off of their fat behind and get into the communities from an early age and put the Jamaican pride in these players so that when the time comes, they will be in a better position to make the choice for Jamaica.
Hey.
What you
Gunners boss, before you respond, somebody want to ask you a question. How did the president of France told Mbappe to stay at PSG and that's a club?
We don't understand what the question.
Let me explain it. Let me explain it to you.
President of France. Let me talk in a patois. President of France tell Mbappe say, yo, tan a PSG.
No go nowhere. Go Barcelona.
So, and the person is saying basically, a man is a president, a diplomat that. How am I get involved in a club thing?
So I think
can't like the club and talk to the player that have not
God as boss.
That have nothing to do with it.
Okay.
God as boss.
Have a conversation, give my advice. They say better off that have nothing to do with diplomat, diplomacy and all that.
But that is the highest level of diplomacy. And he wanted him to stay at PSG.
Yeah. Him could have liked, him can like the union and like the city of Philadelphia, you know. I look for Blake.
You're missing the point. The union. Yeah. The reason why he told him to stay there is because he believed that the French coaching staff believed that Mbappe would have gotten more game time, be more protected, and in a cocoon ready for the French World Cup. That's why it's for selfish reasons that they wanted him to stay at PSG. And the level of the French league. No, all right. So why the president why the president of Ghana contact Tyreek Lamptey and tell him say if he come play for Ghana?
That is a whole different conversation from we having our diplomatic mission loaded with from England. But the
president of the country is the head of government. He's the chief diplomat.
Me say, it's a story. That is a different story. A one-on-one situation is different from our mission over England, loaded with players who born in England want to come play for Jamaica again. Thing. You know what I want to talk say? I'm going to say, we should have some more academics, have some more and build up our national program young in a two Jamaican.
But Gunners Boss, hold on, Gunners Boss. Apparently you weren't listening to the program because we said that we're trying to mirror what Morocco is doing. And one of the things that we mentioned was to improve our local leagues and get things up to par to world-class standard. So we have local players can go through along with the diaspora. So there's a list of things that we discussed. You just come Gunners Boss.
No, he's been here, but he don't. But he hears what he wants to hear.
Okay.
He hears what.
I'm about 3:30. I pick up 7 o'clock and not too long tune into this, you know.
Okay.
So me I tune in a bit.
Yeah, man. We talk about that already, man.
When me hear people talk about diplomatic, we have more things for diplomatic mission. You know, much people there in England stuck up and can't get some documents and can't even get used to in a diplomatic mission. We talk about come load it up with football players who want to come play for Jamaica. Make we work with what they are Jamaica and try to do a thing from Jamaica. You see, out of the 23, the next 23, whatever, to go in the World Cup, we're supposed to have at least Jamaican national developed youth. Some youth and some veterans. Can find that.
So Gunners Boss, you see how that gonna happen, Gunners Boss? Qatar, don't say no. You see how that gonna happen, Gunners Boss?
They must say no to
man like you.
They must say no to xenophobia.
Some money in the thing.
Coach, they will be
it can't work without money, brethren. The local league have to develop. Man can't left from work and I go training in the evening and probably only train one time a day. That cannot work. The league have to be fully professional.
And that's why, from me, I youth till now, I know that is one of the reasons why Jamaica football always are stagnant, because people have to do too much to get to a place in the national team. And national football is supposed to be mostly players we are playing at the professional league in a Jamaica, and man we get by and them thing they like and Bailey them and we bring them in and bring them together with some people from our national Premier League and them thing there. After me know you build a team.
No.
But we have deficiency. We have deficiency.
Coach,
we have deficiency.
Coach, you can't allow some man for just use the platform for come on us.
No, Gunners Boss. Let's say it already and you still say the same thing. We have deficiency in our league. We have deficiency. Yeah, our league need to develop. If we say we are going to follow Morocco, do that at the basis of the conversation, you know. Or the valuable lessons that we're going to learn. Listen, Gunners Boss, the valuable lessons that we're going to be learning from the Morocco situation is that diaspora, the power of the diaspora, build up our local league, get the club situation to a high level, put in infrastructure, get quality coach, and all of these things so the thing can go to a higher level. We can't start take from it and the thing narrative. You see the same mold from 98, and this is my personal opinion. I don't believe it can work.
No, it can't, coach. You are
correct. Cannot work.
But coach,
football has evolved. And if football has evolved and our system has not evolved, it cannot work.
Coach, please allow me to address it. Maybe we need to get Sharia law so that we can deal with someone like you who just come and just talk the madness. Brother, Leon Bailey plus 10 rich local players. That's not how football is done in the world. Football is done, you get the players out of the club system into professional leagues, like how you have CFS, you have Shamar Nicholson at Spartak Moscow, you have Kahim Paris. And when they are in those top leagues and they are playing in the Champions League and the Europa League, they are being trained by pro-licensed coaches, and they are getting the best nutrition, the best doctors, the best fitness coaches. They come back to us in our national team as the ready product.
Yeah.
We don't take a player
Hey.
off of a bench of a local club and hold on now. As you are a Gunner supporter. Hold on, man. You are a Gunner supporter. At nowhere in Gunners do they say, hold on, brother, I'm gonna make it talk. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Me I tell you, no, you didn't have plenty minutes. You didn't have plenty minutes. And the people ever say, why you wake up? Why you wake
You know
up?
what me just said to you earlier?
Where is it?
Cataract, you know what me just said to you earlier? Is exactly what I just said to you earlier. You come back and you know, I just said to you, say, we have national players and players from overseas, likely and daily as an example, and we use those players, the best of the best from out of Jamaica, where they are Jamaica and who overseas, we bring them back like how we have Mr. Blake, the goalkeeper from Philadelphia Union, and so on, and we bring them back with some players from our national
And what no, and what I said no is
hold on, man.
Hold on now.
One time, then you tell
but you are talking when I am talking. I am saying to you.
You cannot say what I just said. I cannot allow you to come back and recycle what I just said.
I did not recycle what you just said.
All right. Hey, look at me, I got muted too on, you know. Well, me, I got muted too on, you know.
Coach,
yeah, man.
I am not recycling what you just said.
This is not a conversation.
I'm not recycling what you just said. And everybody can pick up what you just said. You carefully selected the names of Jamaican-born players to add to the local base squad. It's not lost on me, brother. You never said, oh, why don't we select Omari Hutchinson plus the best 10 players? Don't think say me an idiot again. I'm gonna sit aside and make no man mash up my dream of going to one World Cup again. I am saying to you that you select the best player them where they all over the world to play. And whichever one or two or three or four or five from the local team is then ejected. The local league is then injected into that squad. You don't build a squad based on the players who are unproven at an international level. And when I say international level, mean they can't beat the team them in the Caribbean when they are playing for them.
I support you by saying, Qatar. That's why we spoke about what Morocco did in getting their league to a very high level where players are winning against top league. They are conquering the continent.
Yes.
As Cataract said, Gunners boss, our local league, when they win the league and we move on to the Caribbean thing, we aren't able to conquer those teams. So we are still short-handed where that is concerned. But so that's the point we make. In order to improve football or move it to a next level, infrastructure has to be put in place. World-class facility to begin with. And we don't have any money to do that. We have to improve the club system, which is our top tier league. That is not at the level that it should be. So, what we have now at our disposal, we continue to play the local league. Players are leave, go to Europe, as Cataract said. They are getting their skills refined. And I play with top players. They are playing with, they are being trained by top professionals. So their games are going to be improving and use the power of the diaspora. So like now you have a man like Kaim Paris. You have a man like Andre Blake that you mentioned. They played in the local league and then they moved out of Jamaica. So of course they would be a part of the pool that we select from. But in terms of using the total league that is not up to world-class standard players, we can't do that. And it's not I dislike the league. I watch the league. There are sometimes the games are very entertaining and fun to watch. You see some players are doing some things that are quality.
And you see some that are doing some things that are not quality.
That is the fact.
And
so we now beat down upon it. Our aim or my aim is to help the football. See, like how we are look upon Morocco, I go through the rounds, I deal with the World Cup thing. We want to see Jamaica do that.
Coach.
And if they utilize that thing, probably the only thing they have over we, and money,
Coach,
and I better run local
Coach,
league,
And vision.
And vision, yeah. Me like how Cataract latch on to that. I never latch on to it.
And a long time I tell you about vision, coach. And we are together on that, coach. You hear me talk, we are going to match our talk, we moan and them things. So don't bother with that. Coach, remember I said to you, I don't want a man come about scrap league. Because if we are saying that the league
we not scrap the
produce,
JPL.
You need a local league. It has not can improve, it must improve.
Yeah, it has
by
to improve,
leaps and bounds. If you can't beat and coach, look here. Let me look at
Travis,
that
is a nonsensical type of reasoning, Travis. I mean, I expect that from you,
Dunce, coach.
Yeah, man, nonsensical type
Back
of
at the
reasoning.
class.
You cannot scrap the local league. All we are saying, improve the league.
Coach, it's not improve. The league has to be revolutionized.
Same thing.
It can't be just a little up like this. Them the reason in the back of the class now on a subject. And you have to do a song with Valiant. That you have to do earn some money. Because coach, look here. Me try to do my research, The other day I look on our two big star ballers will leave from the league. They were in the national team, get some national caps. Daniel Green and Atafarai Belgrave. They gone to Vietnam. No sir? V-League. You think that them will light up the B-League? You believe that they are the top in the running for the golden boot in that league? No. One player scored 5 goals and I think one score must be 3 or 4. And them are our top baller over here, sir. And that is the Vietnam League. We are not a league.
Yeah, man. Our league has to improve. It has, and only somebody, as I said, Qatar, without vision, Travis, that will say we will scrap the league. When our intention is for the league to get better. The league has to improve.
Coach, I said this for free. And I'm going to say it again. Because I'm going to make you come in right after this point. I said this here.
Long time we keep quiet,
Oh, just give me 1 second before me make you come in, go as boss. Remember you that sleep, Remember they are sleeping, my boss. Good. So I get a chance to wake up. Coach, I give this for free. I said to the GFF in writing, because when me talk and hear so some man understands that things I'm right and man ignore me. And when me come here, so I true me upon Reggae Boys commentary, I true me heart hurt me. I said, why don't you approach the Chinese betting companies? Because Leeds, my club, is sponsored by a Chinese betting company. And that's how come we got to even get the money that we needed to be able to get the players to take us out of the championship after we did it for 16 years, like we have take up residence and coming at the Premier League. The money that's why I called the marketing lady at the time a peasant. Because she don't know where to go look for money. Chinese betting and betting in gambling in Asia and India, that's what drive even the CPL, the Indian Premier League, the IPL, sorry. They are huge markets for betting. Them gamble upon anything. 2 cockroach get sprayed by beer gun. Them a gamble and see which one I got dead first. And therefore, I suggested that they try to get, and them have more than 10 betting companies. So we could have sponsored the 10 clubs in Jamaica. At them time, you would have seen facilities being built and resources pumped into the game. So I'm saying it again for free. Come in, my brethren. But not my brethren. Gunner's boss. Till you wake up and load a little pick.
Gunner's boss, say it quick because Travis on calling, so make your final point.
Jason type. Jason just a type. So call the show, Jason. Call the show. I make one of your comment them have a highlight on them. Make one of them come up green, yellow, blue or something. Yeah, I don't know, look like up the video. But coach,
Mhm.
you said something when me want to ask you now.
Yeah, man.
Because it was eloquently my comment my statement earlier was eloquently plagiarized by you and Theatre.
Nah,
But let me
man.
move on from that question.
Ah,
No,
Let me ask
brother.
you
no
a question.
plagiarize
We
nothing,
don't
man.
say nothing the way you say. Not the attack.
But hold on, no. You just dress up. You just put on one dress for the chicken and make it and call it something. But you what? No.
But that is why best
Let
dressed
me,
chicken is.
let me,
That's
let me
why
ask you a
best dressed
question.
chicken are leading in Jamaica.
Let me ask you a question, man. Let me move on from that, man.
Mm.
Coach, you say man like me, to pump some money. Say for instance, when me have $1, or me invest it in a football, in a development, a football, in a Jamaica.
A very good,
Like a return.
a very good
Like
point,
that.
a very good question. You'd have to probably see a club that you'd want to invest in, and probably buy shares in the club, so they can improve. I hear J Ham say the league will have to improve by getting overseas personnels to come. That is true. And more you see some Caribbean nationals are coming into our league. That is happening already.
But they are coming as the schoolboy football.
And
the
they are coming at the
nationals.
schoolboy football too. So things are happening. It's not happening 100%. So we need monies now to invest in these clubs, get the facilities upgraded. Like me, I say, Gunners boss. Suppose you see a club where you want to invest in that. Get some money, invest, fix the field, upgrade the stadium to a level that would have been world class, and all of these things. These are real means which you can help. So when you know the facility upgrade and things are going, you can attract players from overseas, even in the Caribbean, to come and play. You understand? For that club. And then more and more persons probably are going to see it and I say, well, all right, let us try. Let us invest in Jamaica. Because we are export players same way, even though the league is not up to par, we are exporting players.
But coach,
and that is still good. So can you imagine if the league get bigger?
Can I suggest the Gunners boss, coach? A Gunners boss, I mean, a bit xenophobic, but you sound like a countryman. You're a countryman?
No, man.
Are you born under the clock? No, there's a reason why I'm asking. Are you born under the clock? No, there's a reason why I'm asking. It's a styling thing. Because if you're a countryman, just find the club within your district and buy out.
Yeah.
Pay 150,000 US and buy out. And you become the president. And then you spend one next 100,000 US and buy some players.
I call in Newcastle, man, and buy out Newcastle.
Like that Newcastle, them just buy out Newcastle. Yeah, man, just buy out. And that way you give the man who own the club now, you give him money and can buy a Mark X and go live in life. And you run the club. That's the way it's done.
Because I think one of the things where I beat the club them, Kata. You see, sports, people. Sports is very, you see all them big clubs like United and Real Madrid where make a lot of money. They lose a lot of money too, Sports take a whole lot of monies.
No, but coach, they
make a lot of money, coach. Salary, infrastructural development, purchasing players, all of them things they pay the whole staff. So you chat some man, a whole lot of money for.
No, but coach, you have to look at the Glazers. The Glazers bought Man U for 300 million. And there's something I want to say to Gunners, and I don't want to make me lose that point yet. Glazers did buy it, mostly Man U for 300 or 400 million. And now they want to sell it for several billion. So there is profit to be made. But it's not for a man that I live for hand to mouth. It's not for a man where I live from paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, you have to have money, man. You have to be a tycoon, rich.
Gunners boss. Real rich. But no, me know you're real rich. No, man. Me know why you run. Me know why you run because I want to ask this question. I want to ask you a question. No, I want to ask you a question. I don't want you to run. Don't run like a wounded dog.
Yes, now fresh got them one card.
Don't run like a wounded dog. Don't do that. I want to ask you a question.
Quickly.
Quickly. What would you say if Arsenal got up tomorrow and said, we are only take players from Edmonton and N1? We don't want no players from nowhere else. Are strictly local players. We come from Highbury and Edmonton. Must come play for Arsenal. Where would your club be? Yes, because that is what you are suggesting. Hold on, man. That is what you are suggesting.
No, that's what you said.
No, that's what you are suggesting.
I said
local players alone.
All right, so another thing I said. Gunners, boss.
Another he say exactly what you and coach say, you know, because that's my views, you know. But because how would I say Leon Bailey and other players from overseas if I never that make plus with local players then. I just do you have a whole lot of time and you take the microphone and say back what you say. But he that we are that means that just go back and research and rethink what I said. You just
I don't use mic.
But please pluralize it by you, Cataract. But you know what? I yourself, Travis and one of them man.
Yeah, Travis I gonna call him. Final call for the show.
I use a talker phone. I use mic.
All right, Travis. Forward on the line, Travis. The last call for United, you know. But the people I don't want you to believe that we're against the league. Always say the league need to improve.
Against the league. The
league
league
needs
needs to revolutionize.
Travis, welcome to the show. Now, y'all close the show, you know.
Coach,
yeah, man.
Yeah, close the show.
Yeah, man.
Them people are no coach.
Who is them people?
Jamaica is a third one. No man, them people are in chat.
Okay.
It's like your show and them only show. So nobody know if you're not say what them I say, you have this, you have that. So if once you don't agree with them, feel what you're saying, you know, relevant none at all.
But Travis, me not agree with what you say about scrap the league. You're being sarcastic or you're trying to be some sort of. We attack. So we need to improve the league.
That have gonna happen because
so we need to improve the league.
No, if you have no aspiration yet.
But Travis, hold on, Travis. Travis, no, hold on. Me no want you come go on like you want twist and turn like you are some twister.
No, twist.
Listen me, man.
No,
listen, hey, Travis, me a mute you, because you're not listening.
Nobody twerk.
Me a hang up your phone.
Coach, you come and show me talk, you know.
Yeah, man. All right. But you have to listen when me talk. Cataract, just hold on now.
Yeah, man.
You have to listen when me talk. See? If we are saying the league needs to improve, I even go as far and say, even at the state at which the league is at, we still get players exported to Europe. How on earth you come on and say, you better we scrap the league? That don't make no sense, Travis. We are all reasoning and I said the league need to improve. Let me finish and you get a chance to talk, you know, uninterrupted, you know. You cannot come and say, oh, if you scrap the league, when we are saying that the league needs to be improved. And if you say the league don't need to improve, well, we can stop the conversation. Where you saying that?
All right, listen to me, coach. As in the league improving more than 3 years, basically the games are played on it. Better surfaces that are 1+, gone back in the days. You have people attack say we just get people up come play in the league. There have been World Cup players who play in the league for Rivali, Moby Oparaki, when the league was worse than this.
Modest.
What I'm saying, no. Moby Operaku.
Yeah, but Anthony Modest was he a Jamaican?
Listen, coach, I never said Modest.
No, but
you can't just take one.
Jesus, please, what a man, no listen, man. I know help me and I say Modest no play for Jamaica, play in a league. Was he a Jamaican?
Yeah. No, he played for Portman a lot of years.
So not that help you and say yes, players are from a long time.
But the point what I'm saying, coach, Jamaica is a poor country, a semi-professional league. And based on how we watch EPL, all the big leagues in the world, we expect a small country like Jamaica feed them on the same breath.
with the league in terms of
Who said that? Who
the
said
league
that?
is a semi-professional.
Who said that?
No people.
Who is
Yes, you know
enough
what I'm
people?
talking.
Who is enough people?
Coach, people like chatting.
Coach.
Can I try to derive Jamaica league?
No. Well, Travis, that's why I like when people listen, you know.
Coach.
The genesis of the conversation is that Reggae Boyz can learn valuable lessons from the Morocco's history-making semi-final. So we list a certain amount of things that we can do in order to get our football possibly to the next level. One, the power of the diaspora. We cannot rule that out because Jamaican men have sprinkled seeds all over this world. So we have a wide base when it comes on to persons in the diaspora. So we cannot escape that. Two, we need to improve our football league locally. Why? Because Morocco has a very sufficient enough league that they can get players from, but yet still, them still use the power of the diaspora.
Coach.
So what I'm saying to you, Travis, the conversation segue into the National League getting better than it is. So where were people comparing when we are trying to find solution to improve the league? And gonna me not finish. Gunner's boss come on and say, how can he help? Me tell him, say, man, to invest. We need somebody with worth for money to come and invest in our club or the clubs. So the league can, and then foreign players can come in from the from more foreign players can come in from the Caribbean. Even the Central American region, our players are going to the Central American. If our league improves, some of them players are come here. So we not say nothing wrong. The league needs to improve.
So what you're saying then? So I league make a national team now reach for what they reach. This one we are talking.
Jesus Christ.
No, sir. That you get, Travis?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Coach, let me tell you something.
Like a JPL.
Who play? We just list some things, Travis, that we can use to improve the football.
Is Morocco
Don't
GDP
check.
bigger than Jamaica?
Smaller than Jamaica.
No, Travis, we are going in the car because we're not getting over with you.
Smaller than Jamaica. And you're the back high class. It is smaller. Smaller.
Compared to Jamaica.
Smaller.
Which one is bigger?
Jamaica.
Richer country than Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Huh?
Jamaica's.
Jamaica's. I'm sure no say yeah here now.
Yes. Back of the class. That me I told you. Coach, what coach? What me want to ask him, he said, Dominican Republic have a professional league? They have even a semi-pro league?
Travis, yeah, some of them are rate in the bridging.
Coach.
You give advice when in a comment section. But when I make them calls the bridging, me get frustrated.
Coach, we were knocked out of under 20. We were knocked out of the under 20 by a country that does not have a professional league. So I don't know how this discussion is going. We have sit here and cried and said we want this. I said to you, we want to see them and them go get some Chinese betting money. So that when we go to Arnett Gardens, we go in our proper stadium facility. We cannot have a club with when we go on it at 1,000 away or 500 away there watch a match. Yet where that going? And the first year I come there, we say Jamaica is a poor country. Jamaica is not a poor country. Jamaica is a middle income country. That is what the World Bank say. That is why they cut us off for some loans. Remember, coach, we can't access some loans because we are no longer classified as a poor country. What we have is a poor mentality when it comes to football. How come poor not drop in when it comes to track and field? How come you saying both that say, boy, I can't break the world record because Jamaica poor? Or Shelly Ann, after she have a baby, run back and win the goal. Me not hear Shelly and say Jamaica a poor country, that's why me can't run and win the goal. Me see her run where and took with herself and left some people with from a higher country than the back. And it's the same facilities here. The same poor country produce that. So I am not into the excuse making game. I am into winning the World Cup before I'm dead. That mean so who in that? Talk to me. Nice.
I don't see where in the conversation we said that the league
Nowhere,
should be
coach.
scrapped, or we are say, yo, the league not up to standard. And the reason, so Cataract, you have to have a balance.
Coach.
Morocco have utilized the power of the diaspora, and to add to that, they have a very potent enough league that can balance off the power of the diaspora.
No, don't say that, coach. They have a potent league that performs well in the African Club Championship and is always near the semi-final or finals of the African
dominated it, according to how we read it. They dominated.
Yeah, but I think they're going a little too far because the Egyptian clubs, I think, run the foot red. But that is splitting hairs. Them always in the semi-finals at their round. We can't get out of the group stage of the CFU qualifiers to even get to the CONCACAF Club Championship. Something is wrong.
So the point what we did make, Travis, is that we utilize the power of the diaspora, but to me, I don't believe we have been getting getting the best out there in the diaspora. Then we come back home and say we need world-class facilities, world-class infrastructure, so that the local league can be up to par. When the local league up to par, we are going to get some local players. And you see that thing that kind of mess up the thing, you know. Because you see, Cataract, sometimes people understand the local players as like a Kaim Paris where I play outside. When we say the local league, we are talking about the local league, the JPL players. We need for them to be playing high quality football week in, week out at very good facility. Of course, they start that. They might try to utilize the best fields so that the football can be at a standard. But the league is still amateur. We need to get it professional. That's coach, all we are saying.
And coach, we have to, and a unfortunate matter, we also have to look at our society as well, right? Because I remember I told you, the coach, you can put in the best of things, but how much man really are going to drive down on it or down at Tivoli when war are going? Look at what happened at the match yesterday, coach. Mile Gully for playing at the women's league. And three of the players get gunshot out of Porus. All them do are go to one supermarket. And 5 man pull up in a market with 2 AK and 3 Glock, 3 chip Glock and a revolver and bullet up the thing. And who not get gunshot traumatized. They could not feel the team to take the thing. Where else in the world that happen? So when some man come chatter up them mouth, me living at the real Jamaica, bad bro. You see what I say, coach? Even after you put all the money in and you're ready to start back a league, where in the world, well, there are some places like Colombia and them places where players get gunshot.
You can't get away
but
from
you can't,
it.
But you can't get, no, what I'm saying, coach.
It has to improve it, man. You have those deficiencies.
Improve our society, our mentality, along with our football, because we want the best for Jamaica. But it don't work, coach. As soon as you mention the name of a player who is in the diaspora, the first thing I'm going to tell you is, I'm an old man. That is respectful. You don't say, oh, the man are old man. And I'm dealing with a comment that came up when we mentioned Dan Burn. Newcastle have no problem of picking the start for them. England were considering drafting Dan Burn into their team to fill the left back before Gareth Southgate decides to not call up nobody else. He might work with Kieran Trippier and him feels that Luke Shaw can carry them. Right? But a player who was on the fringe of getting called up into the England squad, we the fans here say the man an old man. So we have to be balancing how we look at it, coach. We have to be. I want there to be, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eye. Until where a man born is of no more significance than his footballing skill. We're not going to reach far. I want a player to be judged by what level of footballing skill set he can bring to the coach's program, how can he adapt and fit into the system that Coach Hargelson, the dentist, has? Does he come with the right attitude? I don't want no player I come here, so I come for holiday. I come for drink rum punch. I want a man that coming to fight with every fiber of his being to qualify Jamaica for the World Cup, to win the Gold Cup, to win the Nation League. And that's my thing there. And who not there, sir? Chuck off. Because you know have the best interest of Jamaica at heart. Because, coach, you as a track and field man, you know that we have it within us to win. Because in a track and field, me no area ask how come Brianna Williams born at Fort Lauderdale. Me just want you know so she can start the 4x1. And that are the only thing you're interested in. And you now make no excuse when it comes to track and field. So please don't make those excuses for football. And whenever we get one girl with fast like Brianna can go sit down. True or false, coach?
Yes, you see him say go.
Oh, because if Brianna come here, so not come 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the trials, Shenago can come make it. Why is there no trials in the UK for the under 17? Because we don't want the transparency to say, okay, this player better than what they in the Manning Cup. Why don't we? You know, I keep saying to your coach, and one of the first things when I came on your program first, in the early days when we used to chat for 5 and 10 hours, coach, remember we said, if we just simply had a proper transparent system where people could see whether these players are as good as in a real life as what we have here in Jamaica, then we wouldn't have all of this argument. So for the under 17, coach, answer me. Why can't we have in this time when you can get the players released because of the international FIFA window until the World Cup final? Why we can't ask for the under 17 players who are eligible for Jamaica to be released and come and play a match in the UK so we can see just how good they are, so that we don't have to argue whether them better than the central defender, they're better than the central defender where they are stats, who is a good player at a Manning Cup level, and I think are the best we have. I don't know how you feel about that.
Right now, I done the show done.
Travis come down the show.
I saw me feel about that.
No. Travis Pessia come down the show. Oh, they had games in the UK for the under 17s.
I'm not sure.
Nitro telling us
they had games. Okay, I know they did something
in Fort Lauderdale on the weekend. On the weekend when their college had their college combined.
Yeah.
But
I saw some clippings with that. Yeah, man, but big up on yourself, people. Thanks very much.
Yeah, man. Let me agree. Fresh God. Yeah, man. The central defender from, and coach, you agree to the one from Stats. Him look nice.
Yeah, man. So big up the people, them. Stay safe throughout this week. 2 semi-final games coming up in the World Cup. I'm gonna see if I can do a preview tomorrow. Let us see how that goes. Probably a late preview. Cataracty people, them like your approach, you know, like you get baptized. Good to know that. Big up to Cataract. Big up to Brian.
Bigger dubs. Bigger dubs.
Big up to Brian, who was on the panel. Balakar. Big up all of the callers, them. Robert, Travis. Who else did call? Gunners Boss. Big up on yourself. Stay safe, people. Enjoy the week that is coming. Be positive, stay positive, and stay safe.
Big up the whole
until
team
next
Cataract.
time. Peace.
The Ultras. Big up on yourself. Herman Irish, big up.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, Best round here. Remember that.